What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Blazers Uprise post-game show. Apologize for both the thumbnail and the score on the top not being correct. Tori forgot to send me the stuff before he went to basketball, so he had to struggle to give me a crappy thumbnail. Uh, but yeah, man, whew, what a game! What a game! Uh, it looked pretty bleak there. Blazers go up 7 with a few minutes left, and then just completely give the game away at the end. Uh, Thankfully, they made the decision to tank and tank hard with keeping Sharp out. They had to lose this game once they decided to sit Sharp, and they they somehow did it. Um, but man, it did not look like it was gonna result in a loss in this game. A loss is a win in this case, right? But yeah, crazy. But before we get into it, let's thank Bet Online. BetOnline is your site for all your gambling needs. Use the code BLEAV when you deposit money for a 50% reward bonus. And yeah, we've got the Masters going on, obviously NBA playoffs. So make sure you go check out BetOnline and yeah, give them some support like they've supported us all season. All right, so how were your guys' thoughts, emotions during the game? Were you upset? Were some of you happy that the Blazers were actually winning? Because it's like really tough to root against your favorite team as hard as some of us had to tonight. Um, yeah, it's like AJ Poseidon says, Knox masterclass and a loss. I'll take it. Um, yeah, just having to do that and man, it just like I understand. Like we've talked about this all year. I definitely want them to have the fifth best odds. But it just sucks, like when you're watching your favorite team, players doing well, and you're like rooting for them to miss shots and the other team to score on them, and for bad things to happen to your organization. So yeah, it's just uh, the only thing I'll say about this game is thank freaking goodness this game was in Austin instead of San Antonio, because if it was in San Antonio, I don't think Collins and Keldon Johnson play, and man, they needed the Spurs. I don't know if they win this game without those guys. So the fact that it was in Austin, I think the Spurs wanted to reward those fans that paid money to watch them there, and they didn't want to you know throw out the kind of lineup that the Blazers threw out tonight. So I thank goodness it was in Austin because yeah, I just don't think they would have tried as hard to win this game or like show the fans. And you saw Keldon Johnson celebrating after he made a late reverse lay-in, and he was pumped up. It's kind of funny watching a player get that excited over beating this particular Blazers team. But yeah, it's oof. Yeah, so when Shaden sat out, in my opinion, these 3 games coming up are now must lose because they made the decision that they did not want to win this game, which is the correct decision. It sucks as a fan. But if you set everyone on top of that and then you win, like it sucks because then you missed out on you could have had Shaden play again and had him, develop more and get some more reps and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with some of the other players, It's like, what's the point of sitting them out if we're just going to win these games? So when you decide to healthy scratch someone and make up injuries and stuff, you cannot under any circumstances win. And winning this game, I don't know. I don't care how big of a Blazer fan you are. There is no justification for it being good if we would have won this game once they decided to rest Shaden. Now, if you're playing some of your guys and they play well, like the Minnesota game, then fine, like you can justify that. But in this particular case, when the organization is basically all but coming out and telling you that you cannot or we are not trying to win this game. If they would have won it, it just would have been a disaster. And it's not a disaster in the sense of, maybe having, a percentage point less chance of getting Wembanyama or whatever it is. It's just you can't make decisions like that and then still win. And it's not the player's fault. Those guys played hard, and that's part of the problem when you're playing G League guys that are trying to fight to get into the NBA and earn contracts for next year. Like, how do you turn that off? You can't tell them to stop playing hard or whatever. So it's definitely not the player's fault. But I almost feel like if we had our normal bench, like let's just say is like Keon and like the CJ Ellaby and Blevins from last year, like those kind of players would probably lose this game, easily. But when you pick up players that are like just going all out there and stuff, like it's just really hard to make sure that you lose the game, and you can't tell them to miss shots or whatever. But my favorite play from this game was John Butler pulling up from like 30 feet from three after the Spurs had come back to take the lead. But yeah, just freaking weird game, man. For those asking about Tori, he is at Rec League again. He has Rec League on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and with the early game, so he should be on the show just like on Tuesday here in a little bit. But yeah, until then, just like to talk to all of you. Thank you for watching the show. So yeah, I still don't know if I'm like calmed down from that. Like, I've never like cheered so hard when an opposing team scored like the Spurs at the end of this game, man. Were you guys all doing the same? Like I cheered like a Dame game winner shot when like Keldon makes the reverse lay-in to go up 4. Yeah. Connor says his favorite play was the buzzer beater at the end of cover. Yeah, so depending on the book, the Spurs were 4.5 to 5 point favorites, and yeah, the meaningless 3 at the buzzer was to cover the spread. Yeah, I don't know how either team was favored by so much. It should have been a pick 'em probably, but yeah, that Worldwide Wob posted a video of a fan of the front row that was obviously devastated financially by that shot going in at the buzzer to cover the spread for the Blazers. But yeah, like I said last post-game show, this might have been a good time to just bet a ton of money on the Blazers, because at least if they would have won this game, you would have been very happy financially. But yeah, let's talk about the new guys. So Todd Payton asked any of the G Leaguers you think are worth picking up given what you've seen so far. And then I also saw a question. Let me see who it was from. Oh, it's from Aeromancer. Eric, do you think that Skylar Mays has a handshake agreement for a contract next year? We sat him out in crunch time. I don't know if he has a handshake agreement. But yeah, definitely he's too good to play in crunch time tonight. Like, he's just, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses other than, like, he's not super athletic, I guess, but you don't necessarily have to be as a point guard to be steady. But man, that guy's he's such a smart player. You saw numerous times in this game, him just like while dribbling, directing people where to go, someone to go post up when they have a mismatch, someone to come set a screen. He's like a floor general out there. And I like the way he handles the offense, and then I also like just his toughness and competitiveness on defense. He's not the greatest defender, but like he's always boxing out. He's always in the right spots and stuff like that. And you definitely need those kind of players. So I wouldn't be surprised if we talked about this a little bit on the last show, but so they signed Nate Williams to a non-guaranteed contract for 2 years. So he's under contract if they want to pick him up over the summer, but he'll be with the organization all summer. He can play summer league then and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think they didn't do that with Skylar. One, because they have to cut someone to do that, and two, because I think they are planning on keeping him. They might actually sign him to a two-way. He still has 1 year left on a two-way. But at this point, it might be hard for another team to not offer him an actual spot on a roster, so they're probably going to have to offer him a minimum contract at this point. But I do like Skylar Mays a lot, and I do think that he would be a very quality backup point guard, third point guard, emergency point guard next year. Probably won't play much, assuming there's not a bunch of big trades. But just having that guy on the roster is always good. So Aeromancer, next year there will be 3 two-way contracts. So we could, in theory, have all 3 of them. My guess is Ibu Baji will be back, just on the basis that they never cut him. Because when he got hurt and it was going to be out pretty much the rest of the year, there's no reason not to cut him. So my guess is that they just wanted him to be part of the future, and they're planning on developing him this summer and having the rights to him and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if Butler and Baji were both back on two ways. Like I said, Skylar Mays is probably a little better than a two-way. So maybe they'll get the third one. They'll sign Mays outright, and then the third one will be like an undrafted rookie from this year. I think that's probably what they'll do. But yeah, we'll see. Aeromancer says he's struggling to see John Butler panning out. Yeah, it's I was never high on John Butler, but I mean they kept him in the system all year, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they have a second round pick. I wouldn't be surprised if they used it on an international prospect this year. Just they talked at length about improving that. So, yeah, that's one of the most disappointing things to me. The way the season turned out was Baji getting hurt, because like we got several comments in chat every stream once we signed him, like, Baji's better than our centers now. When's he gonna play? And we kept telling you guys he wasn't gonna play, but he was like one of my draft crushes last year, and I really wanted him. And then he didn't get drafted at all, and then he was in the Bucks G League system for a while, and then they ended up signing him from there. And then he never even played in a game for us, so it's frustrating. Like if he's not on the team next year, it'd be kind of frustrating, because then we never got to see it. But yeah, it's just yeah, with him and Jabari Walker and stuff. Yeah, I was just crazy. But Adam Smith says, "How did Zach Collins look?" Outside of a couple possessions where he got blocked by Eubanks at the end, Zach Collins looked great, man. He airballed a 3 late too. But yeah, Zach is he's the exact type of player the Blazers need at, whether it's Zach or someone like him. They do need that kind of player that plays with an edge. It was nice to see Trendon going at him. Trendon finished on him, got a technical for staring him down. I thought that was lame. But, we're trying to lose, so good technical. And and then Collins blocked him later on, and then Watford had a dunk in this game, and then he like stared down. Collins wasn't in the game, but he stared down someone on the sidelines or something, and so yeah, it was good to see both Zach, up to his usual tricks, but it was also cool to see Watford kind of play with an edge to him as well. And I think he had some really nice finishes. Took the ball hard to the rim and dunked a couple times. Yeah, so yes, Matthew Smith. I understand that Collins did. He missed the whole last 2 seasons he was here, but yeah. Yeah, Watford looked aggressive, says Nick, and that's a good sign. As I think ultimately, if Watford's going to be a good rotational player, he's gonna have to be aggressive and kind of play tougher and be that kind of player. Uh, Zach is still he has a it's basically like a team option, non-guaranteed next year, with the San Antonio Spurs next year. So we'd have to probably trade for him because I don't see any way they're not going to pick that up. So yeah, most likely it would have to be a trade for Zach because I don't see him getting released. And even if he was, it might be tough to get him with the kind of exceptions and avenues the Blazers have to sign anyone. So yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah, Knox had a really good game. I think he finished with what 24 points or something. Let me look at the box score here. Um, yeah, 24 points off the bench, 9 of 15 shooting, 3 of 6 from three. Uh, yeah, really solid game. Once again, though, we know he can score. He can pull up, make shots. Um, Only 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers. Not very good on defense. So yeah, we know what type of player he is already. But yeah, I mean, nice to see him have a good game. Games like this will help him stick around the league longer, whether that's with the Blazers next year or another team. I think he'll definitely get a shot based on his size and scoring ability. Just once again, don't know how many players the Blazers need that can either shoot and not play defense or can't score and play okay defense. Like, just can't have too many of those guys on the roster moving forward, in my opinion. Eubanks had an insane game, including hitting 3 threes, 3 of 4 from three, had 9 rebounds, 23 points, 5 blocks, one short of his career high, I think, of six. So yeah, big game for Eubanks. He was masterful in the first half. Um, was hoping he got a little too confident in the second half and missed a bunch of shots, but he played relatively calm. Had some really nice post moves on Collins. Good footwork and finished a couple of nice plays. Um, Watford only played 20 minutes, but he was really good. 7 of 12 from the field, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Only 1 turnover for him. John Butler shot 6 threes, made 2 of them, 4 of 11 overall, 12 points for him. Skylar Mays only played 23 minutes, had 11 points and 7 assists on 7 shots, 4 for 7 from the field. Just another solid game from him. Nate Williams, 8 of 10 from the field, his probably best game so far in limited games for the Blazers. He had 16 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. A sweet behind the back pass for a dunk on a fast break. Manai came in, played 28 minutes, had 7 points, 3 of 8 shooting, including a banked in 3-pointer that at the time looked like it was going to cost us. this loss. Jabari Walker was not good tonight. 4 for 12 from the field, 8 points, only 3 rebounds. So yeah, not the greatest Jabari Walker game. And then Shaq Harrison was 3 for 8 in 24 minutes, had 10 points and 9 assists. So really solid game. He played some tough defense as well. But Justin Champagne for the Spurs came in and was on fire in the first half. I think all 5 of his threes he made were in the first half. Finished with 24 points, 24 for Keldon Johnson as well. But he took 24 shots, was 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. So not the best shooting game from him. And then Zach Collins had 21 and 10 with 4 assists, 3 blocks in 30 minutes. Keita Bates-Diop also had 25 points on 7-11 from the field, got to the free throw line. He also had a couple of nice post moves in this game. But yeah, just very, very weird game with both teams seemingly the players on the court wanting to win really bad, but the organization's obviously not wanting to win that much. We didn't get any help tonight from Orlando. They get blown out by Cleveland, despite Cleveland resting all their starters. Orlando decided to do the same as they're trying to match us in the tank race and thought maybe they could tie us after we lost or after we would hopefully win against the Spurs in their case. But we were not to be denied, thankfully, and pull out the win. All right. My chat has frozen. Let me refresh it so I can read what you guys are saying. Is Tori going to be on soon? Yeah, it should be. I don't know what time he's going to get back. Maybe around 9 or so. If we're still going. Nick Thompson says, Jabari is a very good. Throw him into a trade to free up his roster spot for next year. I mean, he's a rookie. I mean, he's 19, 20 years old. Like, yeah. Robbie asked, are the Clips and Warriors going to be playing their full teams, you think? It's still to be determined because seeding is going to matter. So it's just going to be, I don't know. I doubt they can out-tank us because we proved tonight we're the masters. But I think the seeding is still close enough in the West to where OKC, or not OKC, but the Clippers had a huge win over the Lakers last night. They're trying to avoid that play-in spot, and same with the Warriors. So if we lose on Saturday, that could mean that the Warriors have to win on Sunday to keep the 5th spot or whatever. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they run that over the weekend. But I'm assuming the Blazers will do everything in their power to lose both of those games. Connor asks, is GP2 coming to Portland? Not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he did not show up for that game, but I really hope he shows his face here in Portland because I want the crowd to just boo the crap out of him. Yeah. Maka Benta says, greetings from Sydney, Australia. Blazer fan since 09. Canby Andre Miller days. Nice. Good to have you here. You would have loved, we used to have a guy who talked nothing, like everything that came out of his mouth was about Marcus Camby. So, but yeah. 09's a long time. There's going to be no one there at Moda. There'll be a lot of Warriors fans probably. Yeah, until the Warriors apologize, says mute that bozo, so they can go to heck. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They still owe Portland an apology. So does the Athletic and Shams owes Portland an apology, I feel like. So my mom will be there booing. That'll be good. Um, Jesse will be there as well. Nice. You're gonna boo, of course, right? Yep. What? Why are we talking about Devil's Point, Chess Iron Cat? Like, what do you? Aeromancer might go. Good. Yeah, we can't let the Warrior fans out drone out the boos for Gary Payton. Jesse says he's gonna be loud. Nice. Nathan Foley, you'll be there. Nice. Connor says, "Are we wrong for hating GP2, or did he do something shady to actually deserve it?" Yeah, I mean, he's he did definitely deserved it. He tried to say, well, one, he like basically just used Portland for the money and then demanded a trade and wanted back to Golden State, and then he lied and said that we forced him to take Toradol, and then no, he didn't. He never took Toradol shots, and just wasn't forthright with anything, and then tried to say he was like blindsided by being traded even though he had requested a trade. Yeah, screw that guy, dude. Yeah. All right. I am going to go take that toy from my dog before it gets too crazy. Hold on just a second, guys. All right, sorry. Elias, thank you so much for the $2 donation. He says the Blazers won and lost. Yep. Um, I have a boxer who's been on air several times, but yeah, playing with the squeaky toy down there. No, it was reported by I believe it was Chris Haynes that GP2 wanted out or went to the team and said he wanted out. And I went to Oregon State, so um, I really like Gary Payton the second up until this season, but yeah. And yeah, if you don't know the history, like yeah, he kind of made me look silly by going public with some stuff that he was telling the team, and then he backed out of that, and yeah, it made me look bad or whatever. So I might have some personal resentment too, but whatever. I think I was proven right in the end, so it's all that matters, really, right? Marcus Lake says championship success can change people. Yeah, I don't know. Like that. I mean, it's not like he didn't come from money or anything. So like, I don't know. It's not like he like money shouldn't have changed him that much. But yeah, I don't know. It's when he got paid though, and then you have an injury, and then he just kind of backtracked on it, or like didn't do the things that got him into the league and got him to be good in the beginning. And he hasn't played well for the Warriors either. But yep. Chris S says I need to get my dog a GP2 voodoo doll to chew on. Nah, it's all good now. I mean, I'll boo him when he's in town, right? And then just yeah, forget about it. Like it's not relevant really anymore. Um, We got a bunch of good stuff for him though. I mean, we could have had better stuff for him, but. Nick Thompson says, "Are you and Tori wanting to work in radio?" Nah, I mean, if an opportunity came up, I would consider it maybe, but I'm not trying to like make it in this field or whatever. I'm just, I'm, I just do this for fun. So, yeah, and yeah, so I'm not like trying to become like a Blazer reporter or anything like that. Like, I think this is the kind of stuff I want to do. Just have fun with you guys and talk about games and things like that. I don't really need it to be any more than that, but yeah. Shout out to Brady Seed for a $5 donation. Thank you so much, Brady. Shout out to you for always hopping on the stream. Really impressed with the commitment from you and T. Have become a regular listener. Hey, thanks, Brady. That really means a lot. Appreciate that. And yeah, it is kind of a time commitment. Obviously, like the last few streams, Tori has been busy, and there's been times where I've been on vacation and stuff during the season, or been somewhere with a kid, or it's a kid's birthday or something, and I can't go live either or be there. So there are a few times where we can't, obviously, but yeah, it is 82 games plus 2 other shows a week, and then videos and stuff on top of that. It is a big time commitment. But like I said, it's fun for me, so I don't feel like it's like work or something I have to do. I think it's something that I get to do, and I appreciate everyone for watching the channel and being a part of it, because that makes it so like we're not just doing it for nothing. Like we have a community that we're building up and stuff like that. So but yeah, I do have a life outside Blazers Uprise, have a business and all that kind of stuff, so it's tough. Fun PS, are we solidly in the 5th spot for the draft? Yes, we are. I don't know about solidly. We are a game, I think, in the 5th spot, or 1 win ahead of several other teams. So as long as they lose the last 2 games, there's two games left. Clippers and Warriors, Saturday, Sunday. As long as we lose both of those games, they are guaranteed the 5th spot by themselves. No other ties, nothing. 6 through 8 might still be ties, but the 5th spot would be the Blazers all alone. So that's it. Lose 2, you're the fifth best odds. If they win one of the 2, it's I don't know if any of those other teams are going to win either. So Wizards, it's the Wizards, Pacers, and Magic. We'd need all of them to win a game to be 5th if we win one. So yeah, just got to take care of business, do whatever it takes. Now that we got the toughest game to lose out of the way, now we just have to make sure we don't blow 2 games that we have to lose. Andy Marchant says, couldn't watch the 4th quarter. Oh man, you missed the crazy up and downs, the roller coaster 4th quarter with the Blazers. I mean, they're down, I think, 8 at halftime. Just come out the second half playing well, but then ultimately the Spurs come back, take the lead, and hoping that they would pull away, and then the Blazers go on just like crazy run to go up 7, and it's like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? And then they give up, I think it was a 13-0 run. Yeah. But like I said at the beginning of the show, thank goodness this game was in Austin, because that crowd, like SXKJX says, was loud, and they were rooting for the Spurs, and I don't think they play as hard or go as crazy. I don't think they're as pumped up for this game as they would have been had the that just been a regular San Antonio home game, because that team is not good. um, I can't believe they got the 10th seed last year. But I mean, they have some good players. It's just they don't have like star players or what. Like, I don't know who you're banking on to be that star. I mean, I know they have a lot of young guys, and Sohan didn't play today, but Sohan's more of an elite role player type on a good team. Oh yeah, they had Dejounte last year. That's right. Thanks, Aaron Mincer, for correcting me. But yeah, and it helped them that the Blazers just kind of went out. Uh, Devin, yeah, is super stressful. And no, Sharp did not play. They sat him out with a fake tendinopathy injury that you can't really check on. So, I mean, obviously they're going to get a high pick this year, somewhere between 1 and 6 or something. I think end up being maybe 7 if they have a disastrous luck in the lottery. But I don't know. At some point, they're probably still going to be rebuilding for several years. So yeah, probably just keep using cap space to acquire assets and keep going that way. Henry Mars asks, "How much are we paying Dame next season?" No, we're not paying him $100 million. Um, He's not even going to make $100 million in the last year of his contract. I'll get the exact number for you so you don't have to keep exaggerating. It is 45,640,000 next year, and that's also tied to the cap, so it could be more or less than that. But the thing about Dame's contract is he makes 35% of the cap as a supermax. So when the cap goes up, his salary goes up, but it's the same percentage of the cap. But the more the cap goes up, this seems wrong, because when he's making like 60 million, it seems like that would hurt your cap, right? But if he's making 35 million, but the salary cap's only 100 million, that leaves you like 65 million from Dame's contract to the salary cap. But if he's making like 70 million, and that means the cap is 200 million, because that's 35% of 200. So you have 70 to 200 million is 130 million in cap space. So it's actually, as the cap increases, even though Dame's salary goes way up, it makes it less of a burden on the cap, and everyone seems to think it's the opposite when it's not. So yeah, even when he's making 60 million, it's not really it's not really going to be any worse for us than it's been for 6 years now. Adam asks, if we don't get Wemby, I wonder if we trade back to get more value. Yeah, it's just, there's still a lot to play out. So, in my opinion, there's a few players. Like Tori and I could disagree on the players, but I wouldn't have a huge problem with them if they're like 3 or 4 taking Brandon Miller, as long as the background checks and stuff, or they feel comfortable with him as a person, because I think he would fit in nicely to what they need out of whatever player, whether they trade that or not. I feel like he has a chance of being just as good next year as some of the players they could potentially trade that pick for. And then like Jarvis Walker obviously would fit a need, at forward, kind of a tough physical forward that we've been lacking on this team. So I wouldn't really mind if they kept the pick there either. If it fell to like 8 or something and you take Hendricks, I wouldn't really mind that either. But most of the other players, even though I like pretty much everyone else in that like top 7 range, including the Thompson twins, Scoot, Cam Whitmore, those kind of players, I just I just don't like the fit with trying to win now and also developing them. So I would be surprised if it wasn't one of those guys I mentioned if they actually kept the pick, and we're still trying to win with Dame. But I mean, we've seen bigger surprises. So, but that's going to be like the asset they have to make a move. So, um, yeah. The supermax is actually tied to the percent of the cap. So Dame actually lost money, Elizabeth, when COVID happened because the salary cap didn't go up as much. I think he lost like 14 million or something one year. But yeah, the supermax one is based on a percentage of the cap when you sign the extension and stuff. So, but it can still change depending on what happens with the salary cap. My mom says no Jailblazers ever again. Um, I saw a question I wanted to answer. Let me just find it. Of course, I can't find it now, but basically, it was asking if I would pay Jeremy. Oh, here it's from Dursu Jr. Hey Eric, if you were the Blazers GM, would you sign Jeremy for 30 million a year? Um, they have to. They have to. So if I take over for GM right now, I'm signing him. Yeah. But I wasn't in love with the signing to begin with or the trade to begin with. Now the trade itself was good, so that changed my mind a lot. Getting Jeremy for that type of price, in terms of assets, was a steal. It was a great move. The problem is, yeah, the paying him was always going to be the problem, and so I was hopeful. Even though he had a really good season to start off, and still, even though he struggled shooting later on in the season, he still had a really good season. Um, I think the 4 years, 112 was fine. I didn't want to pay him that much at the time of the trade, but seeing how well he fit and stuff, I think I think it's fair. Um, can one of my mods please hide that person? Thank you. Um, but uh, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if it's just the 5th year he's waiting for, or if he ends up ultimately signing the 4-112, or what happens. But yeah, it's uh, I think you have to pay him no matter what. So George asks, why do we have to sign him? Is there a way to still win now and not pay him? He's okay, but I'm not a fan with how he played the rest of the year. So here's the problem: you let him walk, you still don't have cap space. You'd still have to let all your free agents walk. So Thibault, Reddish, Winslow, all those guys, which you could probably justify some of those. And then you'd have to trade away your rookie salary for no contracts coming back. You'd have to give up your TPE and all that stuff. And then you could maybe get like 20 million in salary cap. So that's with doing all that stuff. So basically, and then you couldn't re-sign any of those guys. But if you re-sign them to 30 million, then then you still have the option to re-sign those other guys. You still have your exceptions you can use. You still could keep your rookie salary and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot to pay him 30 million, but they really don't have good options for replacing him. And then on top of that, they have to get better. So this is the same thing I always talk about with the Anthony Simons thing. So you can say you want Anthony Simons to be traded all you want, but the problem is if you just trade him for a similar player at another position, yes, it might help, but it doesn't necessarily let your team take that jump. You're just changing out pieces to hopefully fit better. Whereas if you're adding pieces to it, then you have a chance to be really good if they all fit, and then you can trade Anthony later or trade Grant later, knowing what holes you need to fill and how to be better. So the thing is, the Blazers need to, if they want to win with Dame, they have to keep Dame or keep Grant and put a better roster than they had this year on. So just not re-signing Grant and letting him leave, and then just finding someone in free agency. Let's say they did magically sign a good player in free agency. They're not that much better because they're, the difference between Grant and that free agent are likely to be minimal at best. Is also the same reason why I don't like a lot of Nurk trades or whatever. So they're kind of stuck in a position where they have to try and hopefully get a really good player basically with the other contracts they have, like Nas, Keon, Knox, and Watford or whoever you want to include in that. There's not that many is the problem. So yeah, it's a case where if they want to improve the roster, they have to add to them, including keeping Grant. But yeah, I think they're setting it up to pay Grant and still try to stay under the tax. I know a lot of people don't think that is, but the case. But I just think with them not taking on any salary at the deadline, I think that was a clear indication that they're already planning on re-signing Grant, but aren't willing to commit fully to that. AJ, man, it's way too early to know if Jarris is good enough to start next year or not. Come on, man. Like, I haven't even drafted him yet, or seen him in summer league or anything. But yeah, I'd find it hard to believe they'd start a rookie next year and think that that's going to solve the problems outside of Wembanyama, of course. So DT says Nurk Keon 7th pick for OG, then Knicks pick for Zach Collins. So when Toronto says no because that's less than they wanted for OG next year, then what do you do? I don't think Brown's going to be available, and I don't know if the Blazers would go for him because of his contract situation too. He could leave after 1 year. Brian, it's too early to know what to do if we don't get the first pick. It depends on what other teams get what picks. So after the lottery, of course, we'll talk about that at length. But yeah, here's the thing: I never ever want to go into a draft or an off season saying this person has to be traded or this pick we can't draft, we have to do this. If we get this pick, we have to trade down. Because then you're limited on what you can do if you're always making moves based on that. I want to I would want to be like not necessarily not have a plan, but go into it with multiple options open to be flexible to go after like if a good player becomes available, you can trade for him. If a good trade down offer becomes available, you could trade down, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Brady says, "Do you like Jimmy Butler as a trade target if he were to become available? How would you value him? Seems like an edgy vet that would help us a lot." I do really like Jimmy Butler. The problem is he makes too much money. So like all those guys making like 40 plus million, I don't know how we match salary. Are we giving up Sharp in that trade? Like, would you give up Ant, Sharp, and Nurk for Jimmy Butler? I mean, that's way too much in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm not doing stuff like that. Unfortunately, failed to they failed to put enough um, they failed to put enough contracts around it to make a move like that. So I think that's the type of thing that is just going to be too tough to pull off. Obviously, they're going to have to use Anthony Simons' contract if they get a max level player. But yeah, so but I don't. From everything I've heard, they love Ant and Sharp, and they do still think of them as the future post Dame, even if that's still multiple years away. So I don't know if they're gonna look into that kind of trade. Would I want Claxton and OG for Nurk and a couple of firsts? No, I don't really like that kind of trade. If we could get Claxton and OG, like we talked about multiple streams, for Nurk and a bunch of other stuff, and we get a high pick and are able to use that as part of it. But uh, yeah. George asks, "What team do you see selling off players if their playoff runs um, goes wrong?" Well, I mean, the obvious one is Philly. Uh, if Toronto loses in the play-in, I could definitely see them kind of switching their mindset, um, especially with OG being having 1 year left on his deal. They might have to move on from him. Um, Siakam might put in that same thing we just talked about Jimmy Butler. I think it costs too much to get him. Um, yeah, I don't think the Nets are going to rebuild. Um, like maybe something happens with the Warriors, not based on them flaming out, but them just their salary being too much. But are they going to trade with the Blazers or what? Are there bad feelings towards one another or whatever? So, um, yeah. Um, Elias says Simons and Nurkin picks for Claxton and Bridges. I mean, sure, if you can get those two, but Bridges has become like one of the best players in the NBA since going to the Nets. They're not just going to give him away for that. Like it's going. I mean, it might take even the number two pick might not be enough to get Bridges at this point. So, um, of course, it'd be fine. MVP Stroud, he is at his rec game. I do not know. Quit asking. I've already talked about it several times. Um, Yes, I know how the math works, DT. Thank you. Uh, Junior asked what were our lottery odds when we got the first pick to draft Odin. I believe it was like 6% or something. Something like that. I think we're tied with another team for like fifth and sixth best odds or something like that. YYC says they didn't know we can sign Grant to a max and standard the tax. Max would be tough to standard the tax, but 30 million isn't a max for him, so it's a little less than that. So it's able to do that. Yep. YYC. That's why we didn't take back Wiseman or Hartenstein or anything like that at the deadline. Bang Bang says Grant's so weak for a power forward, no rebound at all. I mean, hopefully we get Wembanyama, and so it doesn't matter, right? George Alonso says we watch the playoffs even though the Blazers aren't in it. If so, what first round matchups do you want to see? I really want to see Memphis and Golden State in a series. Hope that happens so there can Draymond and Dylan Brooks can talk crap to each other. Yeah, I'm interested to see whoever the Suns end up playing. And then, of course, in the East, there's a bunch of good ones. Yeah, Knicks, Cavs will be fun. Whoever the Heat end up playing will be good. And then I think the second round in the East is going to be crazy. But yeah, of course, I'll watch all the playoffs. Adam Smith says, if it's not literally the perfect trade, I'm highly persuaded that Ant is going to kill it next year. This year was his trial by fire. Starting alongside Dame, true greatness involves consistency. Yeah, I also saw a comment or a question asking if I think that if the defense could ever be good with Dame and Anthony, and I've detailed that several times. But yeah, I think Anthony's going to make people look silly this year. I really like Anthony as a player, and I do believe that if you have the right front court, that you can build a good defensive team even with their defense liability. So yeah, it's just this team this year was not it. I mean, we tried to put Grant on ball, and then Anthony and Dame are then either at the bottom of the zone or at the help defenders at the rim, and that was a disaster. I don't think that's any team is going to have a good defense that way. So I do feel like Dame and Anthony, or at least one of them, need to be more the primary defender on ball, unless you get a three that's just really, really good. But I do think you need at least one of them to play more on the perimeter and not the corners. And I do think it can work. But having one guy over 6'9", no length, very little rim protection, no point of attack defenders outside of injured ones, those kind of things are just a recipe for this situation to not be good. We need a front court then that has length and that can all move their feet and keep guys in front of them and play defense. And until that happens, I think it's going to struggle. But hopefully this summer, those problems will be addressed, unlike last summer. Yeah, DT says exactly. Cavs got two small guards, but Mobley Allen anchor the defense. Best defense in the league. Yeah, just have some mobile defenders like that. That's why I really like going after Claxton. One, because his contract's cheap; it's only a little over 8 million, and two, I just feel like having that type of defender would really help that process along. Robbie would add Hakeem. He's probably at what? How old is he? Like 60 years old. He's probably better than any of our defenders. Yeah, still at 60. So, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Hakeem. All right, Bang Bang says Lillard has to go. He was overrated. Wow, great comment, dude. That's tremendous. Good insights there. Shout out to let me get the first one. Mike Aldridge. What's up, Mike? $5 donation. Thank you so much. Just starting to look at draft prospects. Could you give player comps for Whitmore, Walker, and Hendricks? Thanks. Um, I'm the kind of person that hates player comps normally. Uh, Cam Whitmore, though, he reminds me a ton of Benedict Mathurin from his freshman year. Um, just that kind of raw athleticism, quick burst, but doesn't quite know how to use it great yet. But you can tell, like, once they figure it out and they learn the game a little better, I think Cam's going to be a stud. And but same type of thing, just attacks the rim, um, off the dribble. I think his 3 point shot will improve because it looks pretty good, and pretty good defender too. So really like Whitmore and in that Benedict Mathurin role. Jarris Walker. It's tough to find a comp. I saw a lot of people say Jeremy Grant, but I don't think that's a good comp at all. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head like a power forward like that. Um, yeah, I don't really have a good comp for him. Um, maybe be eventually maybe like a Bobby Portis type. Um, I don't know if that's the best comparison off the top of my head, but yeah, I haven't really found a good comp for him yet. Um, and then Hendricks, I kind of think he's going to be like a Jaden McDaniels type. Just really smart defender. Maybe not as quick laterally, so not quite the point of attack defender, but that long, rangy forward that can just disrupt players both at the rim, on help defense, and play that Jeremy Grant role we saw this year, where they're on on guards or quicker players on the perimeter can keep in front of them and make it tough for them to pass with their long arms, stuff like that. Plus Hendricks is a really good 3 point shooter, so I think he's going to be like an elite role player type in the NBA. Whereas the other two probably have a little bit more star power, but I think their floor is maybe a little lower than Hendricks is pretty safe in my opinion. Um, yeah, Anthony, it's hard to compare anyone to Draymond because he's so unique, and it seems like any forward that can kind of pass and facilitate, it's just like it's just kind of they automatically get lumped into that Draymond role. Um, all right, and then thank you to Connor Messing for a $10 donation. Really appreciate it. Hey Eric, enjoyed the hell out of this Heart Stopper tonight. I work for the USPS and listen to your videos while delivering mail. Thanks for the great streams. Hello, future me. um, yeah, so thank you, Connor. Appreciate it. That's cool that you have a job that you can listen to that kind of stuff. I enjoyed listening to uh, sports radio and stuff like that as well. so yeah, it's always nice when you have stuff like that to listen to. So I appreciate that being for you to say that's Blazers Uprise for you. That's truly a great compliment, and I really appreciate it because um, like I always I always think about like if I had a chance to talk to some of the people that I did that with throughout my life, that would be something I would tell them too. Is that like, oh, thank you so much. Like you provided entertainment for me, or got me through a lot of times. I actually have this weird thing where I have trouble falling asleep unless I'm listening to sports radio. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but started back in high school where you go through your first like heartaches and breakup and stuff like that, and you just lay in bed for hours, like thinking about all the things you did wrong or whatever. And so yeah, like I started listening to sports radio when I went to bed, just to have something going on to where I was thinking about what they were talking about, instead of like my thoughts running through my brain. And then yeah, ever since then, um, it's been like that. And I actually have my wife is so great. Like she, no matter what time I come to bed, she doesn't mind if I put on the radio. So that's been one thing that's been. I was always worried about that. Like, what if, what if that bugs the crap out of whoever I'm with at the time? And so, luckily, my wife has no problem with it. So it's been a good thing. Nick asked, "Do I listen to the Ben Mahler show?" Yeah, that's like one of the few live shows at night. So yeah, I usually throw that on when I go to bed. Sam says, "I listen to your post game shows to fall asleep to sometimes as well. Thanks for all you do." Thank you. I really appreciate all you guys. Eric Olson says he puts on the radio to not listen to his wife. That's funny. All right. Yeah, you guys want to do a tankathon soon? Um, yeah, let's do a tankathon soon. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone else's donations. Thank you to all who donated, and thank you to all who are watching. Yeah, to me, the Ben Maller show isn't great. He takes a lot of phone calls from, uh, just like, because it's on at night, so it's a lot of like drunk people, just like that don't make any sense and just like ramble on. So it's kind of funny at times, but yeah, I don't. He doesn't really talk that much sports, but it's good. It's good background noise. Yes, Zach, that's exactly what it means. All right, let me do tankathon. Let me bring it up here. And then if Tori joins us soon, we can also do one with him to see how they compare like last time. All right, so we got the Blazers still alone in fifth spot, 10.5% chance at first, 42.1% chance at a top four pick. The three teams tied behind us, that all went down to 7.5% and 31.9%. So we have a 3% chance better at Wemby, and a 10.2% chance better than those three teams, of moving up into the top four. So that's why it's important to lose games like tonight, and why we had to lose tonight, because we needed that extra percentage to move up. And I know I've seen a lot of this online lately where the people are arguing like, don't lose games on purpose because um, you don't mess with the odds, or you don't mess with the fate of stuff. And I also, like, I get it. Like last year we talked about that. Like the Kings move up, they were one spot behind us. So like if we didn't win or lose as many games, and or if we would have won a few games instead of losing them, and we would have been seventh, we would have moved up to fourth, and maybe things change. But um, I just think we need to put ourselves in the best position to get the best chance at things, and whatever happens, happens. If we move back down to seventh, it happens. Um, but, that greater percent chance could get unlucky still and not move up, but at least they put themselves in a chance to have a chance at a franchise altering pick, and we just got to live with it. But yeah, I don't want to hear after the lottery like, oh, we should have not tanked and finished ninth because Utah moved up. Like that's not how it works. I mean, you can't pick your spot to move up or whatever. All right, so we got Minnesota is now in 14th. Their pick goes to Utah. We got Toronto at 13. Oklahoma City at 12. Dallas loses their pick because I think they won yesterday or today. So now they are in 11th and they do not move up. So they lose their pick to New York at 11. Chicago loses their pick to Orlando from the Vucevic trade still. And then at number 9, we have the Orlando Magic falling a spot. At 8, we have the Indiana Pacers falling a spot to 8. And then at number 7, we have the San Antonio Spurs. Fresh off their victory tonight, fall 4 spots from 3rd to 7th, that means I think we have to have moved up then, right? And also that means Washington moved up, I think. That's correct. All right, let's see. At 6, we got the Houston Rockets. So they fall 4 spots as well. So they get screwed. At 5th, we have the Detroit Pistons falling 4 spots. Oh my goodness. So 3 of the 4 tanking teams, Houston, San Antonio, and Detroit, all fall 4 spots, and an absolute disaster for their whole tanking seasons. The worst 3 tanking teams all moved down. So good for us, right? So who does that leave? Portland, Washington, Charlotte, and who's the 4th team? Oh, Utah again? Man, why does Utah keep moving up in these? So yeah, Utah is the other team. So top 4 has them. Yep. All right. What's up, Tori? All right, let's see what it is. Number 4, we have the Portland Trailblazers. 4th pick there. At number 3, the Utah Jazz moved up to number 3, 6 spots. At number 2, the Charlotte Hornets, meaning the Washington Wizards are the number 1 pick. And then we have a bunch of people saying, see, we should have beat the Spurs, and we could have been in Washington's spot, and then maybe we moved up instead. But 4th will still be good. Now, let's just play this out. Washington, of course, takes Wemby, right? Charlotte, you gotta think they're taking Scoot, right? Scoot and LaMelo, because LaMelo's big enough where he can play off ball, I guess. But, that's kind of a weird fit for Scoot, but I don't see them taking anyone else there. Utah at 3 is where it gets interesting. Does Ainge go with Brandon Miller, or does he like one of the Thompson twins and just goes for upside? Yeah. So You think they take Miller? I don't know. See, to me, Miller seems like a player that I don't know. A guy like Danny Ainge might not. I don't know. To me, he would go upside. Um, that's a tough one. I don't know. But so, all right. So I wish I could do a poll. Let me see if I can figure it out. Do, do, do. Can I do a poll? Start a poll. All right. Who would the Jazz take at number 3? I'm just going to put, if you think they're going to take one of the Thompsons, I'm going to put them as the same just so that it doesn't skew the results. All right. All right, there you guys go. Go ahead and vote, and we'll see. But don't vote because don't do the Tory and vote because who you think or who you because you want the Blazers to get the other person. Just vote who you think the Jazz would take. And then we can discuss what we do. That was a joke, Tori. Because in mock drafts, you sometimes pick someone just so like I have a tougher decision at a certain spot, or whatever. Tommy Gomez says Blazers cannot use their pick unless Wemby. If they use the pick, the Dame era is over. Okay. Thanks. Tori's in the chat but not on stream because he's either just finished his game and is on his way home or is just got home and is getting ready. But he can watch the stream on his phone just like any of you can. All right, let's see. What are the... Oh, man, this is close. All right, I'm just going to close my eyes and wait a few seconds. So if you haven't voted, vote. All right, let's end poll. All right. So we got Brandon Miller, 57%. Okay. So there it is. Brandon Miller goes 3 in this. All right, so that leaves the Thompson twins. And that leaves, yeah. So who are we taking? We trading down. I know who Tori's taking here. He's going to men. Yeah, I think Zach, it's not that I don't like it. I love Amen as a prospect. I just don't know how he's going to get enough minutes. I know I said the opposite was Sharp all year, but it's one thing to have 3 guards, but now adding a 4th guard to it, it's tough. I think you have to either take him in or you have to trade it. I don't think you can take Walker here. Even if you have him rated higher, you maybe trade down a few spots. So yeah, let's just see who was in that range. So we got Detroit at 5. I mean, they might just be happy taking whoever we don't pick or whoever doesn't get picked at 4 or 5 because I think let's Asar actually maybe makes more sense for them. So yeah, I think they're fine either way. Houston, I don't really see them trading up either, or us really being interested in anything because they're not going to give up like Jabari Smith to go from 6 to 4. So I don't think that'll happen. So that leaves 7 San Antonio Spurs. Is Collins or Vassell enough to trade back from 4 to 7? Could you maybe get both in that scenario if they really like the men here or one of the Thompson twins? That's probably there, right there. You try to get one of those two and get 7th, and then yeah. Yeah, maybe 7 for 4 Collins and like a future first or something. I don't know if they would give up that much, but um, Brian, the problem is there's not really centers other than Wemby in the top 10, so um, yeah, you're not really taking a big man at that pick. All right, so let's just say we traded down, but if we got Zach, we wouldn't necessarily need to take a center either. Uh, so probably wouldn't even think to ask for Zach. Hendricks is like 6'9", so he's like a forward. Uh, so yeah, let's just say we made that trade back to 7, and then um, yeah, who cares what we got? Let's just say we did it, and then 4th it goes Amen, and then uh, let's see, 5th. Let's just say Asura goes 5th to Detroit, and then at 6 Houston. Do they take the Houston guy? All right, let's go. Let's get Tori on here.
Oh man, the beat is over. I was jamming. Could not connect to your selected camera. Okay, give me a sec. I'm tripping today, Eric.
You're on.
I know. I'm tripping today, chat.
I have to set it up. Hold on. Give me a second while I fix this. All right, let's go. Duo webcam. It's just showing the Skype thing right now. I don't see your video. Let me call you back. I'll have to figure this out. Hold on. Let me make sure I have your mic on though. All right, there you go. Talk.
Yeah.
Can you hear Tori now, guys?
I mean, they could. I was watching the stream. I heard the Skype ringtone through the stream, so it should be good.
No, but they could hear that because it went through my mic. But now that I put my headphones on, I had to.
Yeah, just make sure you unmute desktop audio and make sure it's connected to your headphones.
We're good now.
We're good.
Had to do it first.
And then, yeah, recrop my camera because I am not made for close-ups, okay? I am not made for I made for the camera being far away from me. How do you figure that out? You want me to read the dono, or you want me to...
Sure.
Shout out to Boom! My guy Boom with the $10 dono. Says, haven't donated in a bit, but always listening whether live or while working. I appreciate everything you guys do and have nothing but love. I hope for the sake of the franchise, the b-ball gods bless us. Yes. Fingers crossed. Our hopes and dreams lie within the ping pong balls. Thank you, Boom, for the $10 donation.
Thank you, Boom.
Appreciate you. Connor says, yes, you are, T. Goddamn beautiful son of a bee. Thank you for censoring yourself so I could read off your message. Adam says self-love work. Hey, the best self-love is being able to diss yourself and laugh about it and laugh at yourself. That's the best form of self-love. I kind of dig the overexposed, ghostly pallor look. You need any advice or help or anything? Eric? Big E.
Trying to figure it out. Hold on.
Yeah. If you right click on the Skype cam, I think it is, and transform fit to screen should be good.
I don't know how to do anything you just said, so give me a second.
Oh, you got it. No, you got it. You're on the right track. I like
I'm getting there.
Yeah. I'm just big on Skype for some reason. It's strange. I don't understand. But let me rise my chair. When are your rec league playoffs next week? I think we got a bye on Tuesday, and then we play Thursday. So yeah, I'll be here to run the final 2 postgame shows. It's nice giving Eric a little bit of experience running them through Streamlabs. Yeah, and then just crop the bottom with Alt. And the top with Alt. Yeah, that's the key. Skype, what is this? 2007? Zach, it's the easiest, man. It's the easiest. Doesn't have to be perfect.
I don't know how to make these.
It's pretty close. Good luck, Tori. Hope you win a chip. Yeah, my Tuesday Thursday team league is stacked, or my team in that league is stacked. And then we just play really well together. And then my Sunday league team season starting up. If you guys are in the Vancouver area and want to play in a rec league, check out Vancouver City League. Should just be able to Google it. It's a pretty good league. There's 2 divisions, like elite and a lower division. So if you want to play super competitively against some really good players in there, or if you want to play for fun, they got 2 separate leagues for that. The guy who runs it is a guy that was in my class that I played against all throughout high school. Pretty cool guy. So, Robbie, I played 3 games and I didn't check my stats, so I don't know. Just played three games. That's why I'm dead now. That's why I'm a ghost. That's why I'm so white and shiny. Let me like reduce my ring light there. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so what was the conversation? I think we're pretty good now, Eric. Good job. Well done. I need to lean back though. I need a boom for my mic. I want to hold on to the boom and have a mic like hanging in front of my face.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. I'd feel official then. The less basketball Tori plays, the tanner he becomes.
You know, the Portland Basketball League has what's called pick-to-play teams.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't have a team, you can just show up and like, or you sign up and pay us. I don't know how much it is per game, like $10-15 or whatever, and play. It would be cool if we just got like you and me and like whoever the first 5 to sign up in chat, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or we just coach and
yeah.
I don't know. 4 days a week might actually literally kill me. I don't know if I could handle that, but it would be a lot of fun for sure.
Do you do rec all summer? Like, is it?
Yeah,
ongoing?
it's year round.
Okay.
Year round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need my fix, man. Like, if I don't play basketball at least twice a week, I'm just in a worse mood by the end of the week. It's crazy. Like I'm legitimately in a good mood right now just because I played basketball and because we lost.
Did you see any of the game?
No, I was I at halftime of my rec league game, which started at 7. A couple people in that league that I'm cool with that pay attention to the Blazers were like, dude, no, Pineapples was at rec league, yeah, but it wasn't him. It was Mason and Caden. Shout out to them. But they were like, oh, we're down 3 with 5 seconds left, and I was like, oh dang, I hope we lose. Oh wait, oh crap. I didn't get Eric a thumbnail.
I know.
Oh no.
It's like the fourth quarter. I'm like, there's no way Tori's not at rec game. I'm texting you being like, dude, did you have a thumbnail?
Yeah, that was my bad. Well, okay, so I thought there was a stream earlier today because you guys know we normally do our Blazers Uprise live show on Mondays and Thursdays. This week we switched it to Tuesdays and Fridays just for picks against the spread. There was no games on Monday, only a few games today. So we switched it to Tuesday, Friday. And I was like, crap, we got to stream today. I even messaged you, Eric. I forgot what I messaged you. Or I was like, I got to go at 4:30.
Right. You were the one who wanted to do it Friday this week.
Yeah, I know. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, wait, we don't have a stream today. Okay, never mind. So then I was operating under the thought process, like, we don't have a stream today. I'm just going to go to rec like a normal day and whatever.
Well, right after that, I gave you some ideas on what the thumbnail could be since you had to give me...
I will make a thumbnail after the stream is done, and because those were great ideas. Yeah, especially for such an epic game as this seemed. We lost by 2. Yeah, I mean, like, I need a recap because I did not pay. I watched a little bit. I saw us go up 27-20, and I was like, oh no, I don't even want to watch this.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch us win.
The game was back and forth. Both teams were on freaking fire in the first quarter.
Yeah.
But then the Blazers kept going. The Spurs got kind of cold. And then in the second quarter... Champagne went off and hit a bunch of threes, and they took a lead. We're up, I think, 8 at halftime, and then Portland comes out like freaking gangbusters in the second half, and takes the lead in going into the fourth quarter, and then they start playing really well in the fourth quarter. It's like, what? And like we're like, what do you do? Because Chauncey's like not playing players, but then he puts like Eubanks and Knox back in. I didn't really understand that. And then,
well, okay, what does it tell you that the only rotation player left from the start of the season that's still playing while we try and epically tank is Drew Eubanks? But I saw he was.
He
nice
had a really good game.
I saw he was literally like Karl Anthony Towns today, 3 for 4 from 3.
He was nailing threes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's like it's back and forth, right? But then we go up 4 with like 9 minutes left, and then the Spurs come back and tie it with 8 minutes left. And then, so it's 110 with 8 minutes left. We're like, okay, come on, Spurs, just go through with it. Then frickin' John Butler hits a 3-pointer. Mania scores a bucket. Then there's like back and forth, nothing happens, and then we get a steal, throw it ahead, to Nate Williams. He has like a behind the back dime to Kevin Knox for a dunk.
Yeah.
And Spurs call timeout. We're up freaking 7. Like
how much left?
With 6 minutes left. Yeah. And it's like, oh my goodness. And then the Spurs miss out of the timeout. Then Nate Williams drives and scores. We're up 9, Tori, with 5:26 left, and it's like, oh my freaking god, is this actually happening? And then the Spurs went on like a 13-0 run or something like that, and took the lead 123-119.
Did it look like the Blazers started like purposely selling Blazers players?
No.
Like, we'll give you a bonus under the table if you throw the rest of this game. You know how penalized we would get if that happened?
No, it definitely didn't. They didn't play Skylar Mays at all. Yeah. I don't think at all in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We didn't challenge a late call that probably should have gotten challenged.
Yeah.
But no, the only play that you could say that on was the Spurs took the lead. Let me find out how much time was left when this happened. But man, it was so crazy. So Bates Diop hits a 3-pointer after Trey Jones hit a 3-pointer to go that put them from down 5 to up 1 with like 3:30 left. And then John Butler took like a logo 3.
And made it?
No, he bricked it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hell
Like
yeah.
that was
Good
that
job,
I know, that was the only shot. But then like later he took like he made a 3 after that. So like I don't think he was doing that on purpose, but yeah, it was like a super deep 3 and it's like when it's in the air, I'm just like, oh my god, John Butler's gonna hit a 30-foot 3, and we're gonna win this freaking game. And like, it was right on line off back rim, like, but like the whole,
funny.
it was like seemed like slow motion in the air,
Yeah.
like no, yes.
Our season comes down to a John Butler logo 3.
Oh yeah, and then so the spread ended up being because Keldon and Zach played, so the
Yeah.
spread ended up going up to like 4.5, 5 in a lot of places. And the Spurs went up 5 with a couple seconds left, and John Butler hit a deep 3 to cover the spread for the Blazers, and we lost by 2.
That's
So like
crazy.
there was a lot of
What a
bettors
game.
like mad, yeah.
What a game. Bro, Malachi Branham 1 for 12.
Yeah, he was terrible.
know
Kelvin
he's had
Johnson
some-
took 24 shots, was 1 of
10
8
for
from 3.
24. Jeez. What an amazing game this seemed like.
Dude, it was.
I
don't-
watched... Go ahead, sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, I was saying this earlier, but like, you know, like when we've been like, say the Phoenix game, right, where, the one without Dame and Ant, where Nurk hits that big 3 and then Jeremy hits the shot at the buzzer and stuff.
Yeah.
Like my heart felt like that the entire game. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy because like it was like super nerve wracking, like just intense. Like, please no. And then like, yeah, like the whole fourth quarter is just like, oh my god, this is not happening. Like when the other team goes on a run normally and we get down, and then you know Dame finds a way to come back at the end and that kind of stuff. Like that's how it felt, but it was like the exact opposite because no one cares.
Yeah. Wild game. This Jonathan Williams dude looks solid, man. The little bit I watched from him from this game and a couple other games, like he seems solid. I would be surprised if we don't trade him. I would expect him on a 2-way.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's technically a non-guarantee for next year already, so
Yeah, but you know
We
they
could
can
just pick
release
him up.
him and then pick him
Yeah.
up on a 2-way.
Yeah.
So what's the knock on him? He can't shoot.
I mean, I don't think his shot is bad, but yeah, he's more of a slasher.
Yeah.
But he's not quite athletic enough to finish at the NBA level like he did in the G League.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, these G League guys just come in and have been just playing their butts off, though, which you wouldn't expect anything less. But
Meanwhile, Kevin Knox, dude, I can't believe he's playing well for us, and it's annoying. Like that's really what the season has become. Is like Kevin Knox. I've always looked at is just your prototypical. He's big and just skilled enough in college to be really good, get drafted high, and then he's not big enough or skilled enough in order to do anything in the NBA.
let me tell you why it's a good thing, though.
Why?
Because the better he plays, the more they think, well, why do we need to keep Reddish then, right? Because Knox only makes $3 million next year.
Why
so.
do we need to keep Reddish? Like that's the.
But that's what I'm. But just
Yeah.
from their perspective, maybe they'll be like, well, we already have Knox under contract if we want for $3 million.
But the
We don't
problem
have
is,
to worry.
here's what it is, Eric. Here's what it is. Is like they're viewing Reddish as a part of the rotation next year, and now it's going to be like, oh, well, we can put Kevin Knox in the rotation next year instead of Cam Reddish. Neither is
don't
the
know if
answer.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
why I have those jokes on. If you follow me on Twitter, chat, I keep having these jokes like with that 5 minutes of play, Kevin Knox has earned the backup small forward spot. Because that's truly how I kind of feel. Is like if he plays well the final like 10 games a year. I mean, this team tricked themselves into thinking like, oh yeah, Justice Winslow should be an integral part of this team because of like a 4-game winning streak last year.
yeah, I think the Knox thing though. I mean, ultimately, I think we're going to need his contract in the trade, so I don't think it matters. But I said this earlier. I'm sick of guys who can either score but can't play defense and doesn't do like anything else. But I mean, he's proven he's a legit NBA scorer. But we don't need another NBA scorer. We need someone who can play within the context of an offense and play defense. So yeah, I'd rather have like some of the G League guys than him, really. But
Yep. I want to run a tankathon sim because I heard yours earlier. I heard you got fourth.
Well, we're in the middle of.
Oh, and
we're running through it. So we got fourth, and we ended up trading down to seventh with San Antonio. So we had Washington taking Wemby. We had Charlotte taking Scoot. We had Utah. We had a poll, and chat was like 57-42 for Brandon Miller went third. And then we traded down to 7 with the San Antonio. And then San Antonio took him in. Detroit took Usher. And then we're at Houston, going back to Portland's pick at 7 then. So I could see Houston taking Jarris because, he played in Houston this year. But I could also... I don't know. I think Cam Wetmore kind of fits them too. So, who do you think would go 6 there?
I don't know. None of them seem like Houston players on there.
Yeah.
I don't really. Houston's just a mess. So Cam Wetmore, maybe. I mean, if we trade down to 7, I would be happy that Cam Wetmore goes 6th.
Yeah. And then we get Jarris.
Yeah. Yeah, then you just take Jarris, and I'm very confident in him becoming a really good role player in the league. Mm-hmm. Really confident in his defense. Quick on his feet for his size. Some passing flashes, like shot the ball okay. What did he shoot? Like 34%, or was it worse?
I think I went down to about that, but he was flirting around 40 at one point, and then
finished at 34.7. 66.2% from the free throw line. Projected NBA 3-point on Tankathon is 33.5, but his shot is close enough that you could have some hope that he could be a 3-point shooter in the league. You just worry about him coming in and being like a Jabari Walker in terms of shooting. Speaking of a Jay Walker.
We have Jab and Jar Walkers.
Yeah.
But he had a play in the tourney where he pulled off one dribble from just inside the 3-point line. It looked really smooth. He has plays like that where it's like, oh wow, if he can do that at his size, that's like really good. But he just doesn't do it enough yet to consistently know if he's got that bag or not. Yeah,
I'm worried about him being able to do it consistently on the NBA level because we barely saw it in college. I mean, maybe, but you're not drafting him for that. So I just think he has a much higher floor than a Cam Whitmore, and I'm not super high on Cam Whitmore.
Well, I think both of them will be good defenders, but Jarris is more the type of defender we need. I think that secondary rim protector, that tough physical defender that we don't really have.
Yep. I mean, you could maybe talk Taylor Hendricks there, but just take Jarris. Just take Jarris.
Yeah.
Because Taylor Hendricks has the same questions about his creation ability, and like they're kind of the same player. I just think Jarris is a little higher floor and a little bit more of a forward defender compared to a big man defender. Like Hendricks can switch out and guard some threes for sure. I think Hendricks is a little bit closer towards a big than Jarris is, but I think Jarris can play some small ball center, so I'd rather just go for Jarris in that conversation. But Hendricks is a more proven shooter, so you could make a case for him on that. But like, I don't really see anybody else being a realistic option there. Don't take Grady Dick. Anthony Black is like the only other name that I would be willing to throw into that conversation. I know you wouldn't, but defensively and I like a lot of Black's traits. I don't think his form is an abomination or anything. I would have some hope that he could figure out how to just shoot the ball somewhat consistently, and if he does, that he would be a phenomenal role player, defender, passer, cutter, smart player, athletic. Like, it just comes down to, can he knock down shots so we can play off the ball and play off guys and kind of play that Josh Hart role, but maybe be a little bit more of a threat as a shooter. They're obviously not the same exact player, but that would be the ideal role going forward. And then, as Lillard ages out, maybe he would be ready to take on more of a scoring role a few years down the line, and maybe he could be, a fringe all-star type of player. So that's why I throw Anthony Black in that conversation, but I wouldn't be thrilled with him as 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd almost rather trade again.
Yeah. I mean, because the team's going to like Grady Dick, probably 8, 9, or 10. Casey Wallace is a name up there. Nick Smith Jr. is a name up there. None of those guys make sense for us. Mm-hmm. So if you could trade down to 10 for 11 after that, then take whatever's left to like Hendricks, Whitmore, Walker. Whitmore and Walker probably won't be there, but Hendricks and Anthony Black could realistically still be there at like 10 or 11, and just take one of them, which I would probably go with Hendricks, but you can make a case for either.
Mm-hmm. DJ Vegas says, I want to take a route like the Knicks did last year when they traded out of the first round for some future first. They nearly got Donovan Mitchell deal done with those assets. Okay, 1, they did not get the Donovan Mitchell deal done.
Yeah.
2, they had tons of expendable contracts that they could attach all those first to. Who are you talking about? Like, name a player. Like, let's just say, for the sake of argument, Embiid and Giannis aren't available. So who's the Donovan Mitchell that you?
Well, here's the thing. It's like, are you sure that getting a couple future firsts, are you sure that's going to be more valuable than like the 10th pick in this draft? I mean, if your sole purpose is if you trade down to 7 or whatever, and then want to trade for 3 future firsts, for the sole purpose of trying to make a big trade, you have to make sure that what you're getting back is going to be as valuable in that big trade as the 7th pick, or else why are you trading it for first round picks and making a bigger trade harder than if you just traded the 7th pick?
The only thing I could say about that is, like, let's just say we got the 2nd pick in this scenario and the Spurs were 7th and they were willing to give us, like, they just really believed in Scoot or something, or another team, and they gave us like 7 and 3 future firsts or something to move up. That's the only thing I could think of. But
the only way I move out of the top 4, though, is if I get somebody that can definitely help the team next year. So if you can pivot those first for sure into something else, then you can have that conversation. But I'd want it to be a 3-team trade so we know for sure. Because I just don't think you give up the caliber of prospect at like 2 that is available there to fall down to 7, where I think it's a much worse caliber of prospect just for future firsts, because it's hard to find guys with the upside and talent of like a Scoot, Amen Thompson, etc. So I'd want I'd want somebody that would help the team right now if we're going to trade out of that range.
Well, here's the problem too. If whatever pick we get, if Anthony, Nurk, and 5th, 6th, 7th, and a bunch of future firsts, so you're basically trading 4 firsts or 5 firsts if you include the Knicks pick, I guess, too. So that's 5 days, or 5 firsts, Anthony, and whatever. So what player can you not get for that you could get by moving the 7th pick for more future first, and then you have like 6 firsts? Because I'm not trading like Anthony and like 7 firsts for Siakam or something. Like if we can't get him for Anthony and 4, I don't even know if I do Anthony and 4 firsts, including a top 10 pick. So like, I don't know. It's just.
This dude in chat said I'm pissed, and I don't understand why people emotionally project in such wildly inaccurate ways. I don't know what would make you think I'm pissed off right now. Do I gotta smile more?
You're so negative, man.
I know. God dang.
This show is so positive, and then you just came in.
I'm just thinking about going to the gas station and getting like 5 different drinks so I can hydrate myself, because I'm dehydrated. I'm dehydrated right now. I'll probably do that at some point. I don't know how long you plan on streaming for.
That sounds so nice, but I can only drink water right now.
Well, how long have you been streaming for? How long into this are you?
So like an hour and 45 minutes or so. Where do I
Dang,
see
that's
that?
it. It's an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
My gas station bar above my house closes at 10, so.
Yeah, I'm fine ending by then, unless you want to go longer.
We got 250 people in here,
Yeah.
which is pretty dang cool for, given the situation this team is in, given we're almost 2 hours into the stream, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm down to end by then though.
Who is? Did I miss it, DJ Vega? Who could they possibly get that they wouldn't be able to get with their package they have right now? Chief and asked if we got Brandon Miller, how much you think he'd average rookie year. It solely depends on if he's, I guess, the starter. If he's starting at small forward, I think he could average like 12 points a game his rookie year, because he's going to get a lot of open catch and shoot threes, and I think that's something he'd excel at. Zach says, imagine what numbers y'all going to do if we get Wemby. Yeah. Well, DJ Vega, if you have someone that we don't need to include Simons for, that's one thing, but like pretty much every star player makes max contract, right? So that you would consider giving 7 first for or whatever. So what kind of package? I'm just curious, like who, because like the Blazers package right now for Embiid would be, the 5th pick, the 23rd pick, and then 3 future firsts. So it would be 5 first, including a top 10 pick, and then Simons and whatever, Nurk or whatever. So who? You should do a tank-a-thon.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could be more lucky than you. More luckier.
Yeah. More luckier.
Let's see.
This MVP Stroud guy in chat's obsessed with you, man.
What did he say? What's your wingspan? Oh, like 6'6"? 6'5.5"? I was expecting some hate, man.
He was asking about you all stream before he got.
Hey, that's my guy. Then
when's Tori gonna get
my
here?
Guy.
Where's Tori? When's
that's
he gonna be
guy.
on?
That's my guy.
He's not done yet.
Hell yeah, that's my guy. I need more positivity towards me.
So DJ Vega, you think having Simons and 2 firsts isn't enough for Draymond? Like I'm just
I don't even
curious.
know what this conversation is.
Like a top 10 pick.
14 Utah, 13 Toronto, 12 OKC, 11 Knicks, 10 Magic, 9 Jazz, 8 Orlando, 7 is Portland. I am more unluckier.
We flipped. What was that last stream? I was 7, you were 4, and now
Charlotte was the number 1 pick. Simmed again and got 3rd, but it doesn't count because there are no re-rolls in life.
Mm-hmm. Colonel Pancakes, come on, man. Come on. No.
What? I don't even get it. You don't have to explain it to me. I don't get it, though.
He thought you were just Mike Richmond, except for you called yourself Tori on this show for some reason. What?
What? I don't even look like Mike Richmond.
They're not related at all.
I don't even look like him. I don't get it, y'all. Yo, I also thought you were Mike too until 2 days ago. What? Why? How?
Why would he come on a show and call himself Tori?
My name is Tori. I run a different YouTube channel. What? I honestly need to understand why people think I'm Mike Richmond so I can make sure that people know that I'm not Mike Richmond. Like, this doesn't make sense. I'm confused. How do we look alike other than we have a beard and we're... You have mannerisms like you're his brother.
What? Why would Mike Richmond do this show and not ever talk about it on
To just monopolize the industry. Smart
Locked On?
play. Smart play by me. I honestly am curious. This person says, I was like, damn, this dude does a lot of Blazers stuff. I mean, I do a lot of Blazers stuff, but I also don't do what Mike Richmond does. Blazer fan, it would you don't know my game. You don't know me. We need a poll. Is Torrey actually Mike Richmond?
And he's only a pass first point guard because he can't do anything else.
Yeah, I'm like, put the ball on the floor, drive the gap, draw the second defender, kick out. Or pin down, they're going to switch, so I flash to the middle under the paint, draw the second defender, and then the guy set the pin down for relocates to the corner, and I immediately kick it out. Open three. Like, we had some impressive... You would have been happy if the Blazers ran some of the movement off ball that we did today in some of the games I played in, Eric.
Nice.
Like, it's fun. It's fun to play with dudes that know how to move, know how to screen, know how to cut, know how to pass.
You missed that Cam Reddish stand, dude. Was back.
Oh, was he? Yay.
Yeah.
I'm so upset that I missed him.
And then we have big task at hand, in all caps. Talk about the Knicks. That's what the chat wants to hear. Okay.
What? Just do a poll. Do you want to talk about the Knicks? Yes or no?
All right. The Knicks have locked up the 5th seed. They will be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Good first round matchup. We did actually talk about that for a little bit earlier. But yeah, I don't know. We have their pick, so I guess they have the 11th pick in this scenario.
Yeah. Dude, my legs are cramping. It's tough out here. All Good said Torrey would never have an entire shtick dedicated to holding on to your joy. He'd do the opposite, I think. What?
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean? Is that a Mike Richmond thing? He holds on to his joy?
I guess. I don't know.
Torrey, are you a lob threat? I'm a lob pass threat. I threw a no-look lob to somebody today, and he almost dunked it. It was a freaking dime. It was in garbage time, but it was a dime. I've never thrown a no-look lob before. Gas station is closing soon, Mike. Oh, I mean, Torrey, sorry.
What is happening to this stream?
I don't know. I like it, though. Torrey can dunk. Yes, I can on a good day. I don't try because it makes my knees sore.
Now we got a question from Marky. Torrey, are you in the NBA? Yeah, he plays in the NBA and then just comes on this channel after the games.
Yeah, you guys thought I was at Rec League, but I was actually playing in the game today. You guys just didn't notice. You got to pay better attention. See, this is how I know you guys don't watch games. You didn't see me today. I'm actually the guy I feel like I probably look the most like in the NBA is maybe John Conker. However you say his name. Kankar. What is the game plan to beat Stephen Vaughn, Torrey? Pray. Cross my fingers while I try and play defense. No, you're thinking of Vlatko dogging him per 36. You're thinking of Vlatko Kankar, not John Kong Char. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Boyan and Bojan. Bogdanovich. Somebody says they just got blocked by Justice Winslow. Ooh, I better go check. Nope, I didn't get unblocked. Dang. Oh well.
Rahi asked the same question we get every stream. Where would Shaden go in this draft?
He wouldn't because he got drafted last year.
It's too hard to know that because we have no idea what he would have done this year. Like, if it was still he never played, I still think he goes 7 to 10 ish. Yeah.
Do you want to keep the stream going, or do you want to end it?
I don't care. It's up to you.
Do you want? I mean, I'll come back and just chug fluids on stream. I don't care.
I mean, I'm fine either way.
It's up to you. You're the shot caller. How many likes do we have right now, Eric?
No idea.
Because we're gonna sell out for likes, okay? We have 71 likes. 244 people watching, Eric, and only 71 likes. I don't think they want us to keep streaming. 71 divided by 244, that's only 29% of people watching have liked the stream, so...
So, like, if he played on the Blazers this season exactly like he did, and then he just went back into the draft for some reason, I think he's probably going... Probably third.
See, we gotta start asking or guilt tripping for likes because it's literally above 100 now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like being that YouTuber that's always asking for likes and saying, hit the like button, smash that like button, pound that like button. But
Carson,
when we do it...
What's up, Carson? Member for 10 months message. Just saying hey and hit the like button. Love y'all. Love you too, Carson.
Love you, Carson. Yeah, so you guys are going to make me start selling out for likes now. I've refused it until now, but, I mean, this has just opened my eyes. Tori, are you a professional water polo player? What are these questions about? Okay, I'm going to the gas station. You can end the stream solo. I don't care.
I
will come back and see.
I bet Tori think he'd be good at water polo.
Dude.
Would you?
You know how exhausting treading water is? I could not imagine playing water polo. Those dudes have to be in such insane shape.
Yeah.
People don't understand, man. That's insane. I don't understand how people play that.
Mm.
So no. Anyway, I'm going to the gas station. Chat, you can take bets with amongst yourselves in terms of what drinks I'm going to get. You guys have seen my selection on stream before, so Eric, you want to keep streaming? You gonna keep streaming?
Sure. If you want
okay. Just solo cam it.
I got it.
And I'll just mute my mic through Skype.
I muted you anyway. Let's see what that is. Carson's sending me messages. Can't check that right now. Okay. No, I am not in the NBA. Shy Guy, I saw you asked earlier. I'm trying my best, yeah. Limiting myself, pretty much drinking only water. Of me reading off your donation. Do I watch baseball? Yeah. It's tough for me because I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan and they're a poverty franchise that never actually keeps their players or tries to win. So, yeah. Yep. So yeah, don't really have a team to root for that I can enjoy watching games or whatever. And it's in baseball, like who knows about draft stuff, so it's hard to know. Yeah, the Luis Castillo trade, I was happy for it, both for Castillo to go to the Mariners, it's a good fit for him, and the Reds got a lot of prospects in that deal, so I am excited for that, but they've made trades for prospects before, and they don't really spend money, so it's just tough being a Reds fan. Taylor Packer says Reds fan is random. How did that happen? They were good in the late '80s, early '90s, with Barry Larkin and Eric Davis, and those are my favorite players. And yeah, they won the World Series when I was 11 in 1990, and haven't done crap since. But yeah, so I just kind of root for them ever since. And yeah, I always hope that that Oregon or Portland would get a team, but yeah. Actually, I was in sixth grade and got in trouble for gambling because I bet an A's fan that the Reds would win, and so I I started liking them because they theoretically won me $20, except for the teacher found out and didn't allow him to pay me. So yeah. And then shortly after that, the Reds traded for Ken Griffey Jr., who was my favorite player, or pretty much the coolest baseball player of all time. So that was awesome. And then he was hurt all the time, unfortunately. So never really got to see him in his prime. So yeah. But yeah, I don't mind the Mariners. I'll root for them if they're not playing the Reds. I got to go when interleague baseball started, and the first time the Reds played in Seattle. I went up and went to the game where Ken Griffey Jr. came back as a Red. Yeah, by Carson. So that was really cool. I met Pete Rose in Vegas too. That's funny. He used to always be at this little card shop signing autographs. What NBA team am I rooting for in the playoffs? I like the Cavs. Also like the Knicks. I don't mind the Bucks either. I'm not really rooting for a team specifically. Be funny if the Kings won, but mute that bozo. Man, another thing we have in common. Nice. Yeah, I don't go back that far to like the Johnny Bench days, but yeah. What team am I rooting against? Pretty much every other team I didn't mention. Um, Trevor Williams says, don't forget about Chris Sabo. Yeah, Sabo was awesome too. Chanel says, Eric, if you could have added one thing to your game that would have helped you make the NBA, what would it be? Uh, like, can I say athleticism? I don't know. I just lateral quickness. Yeah. Feel like I have the basketball IQ, just not the quickness. Because like I'm 6'6", but that's when I was growing up. That's like Michael Jordan size. I was like the same weight and height as Michael Jordan, so like I wasn't a big man, but when you play high school and stuff, that's like big man size. So yeah, if I had the quickness to like stay with those guys, it would have been different maybe. Reese, if I'm 6'1", you're like 5'4", then. Connor Messing says, Eric, one of my first memories of the show is you mentioning that everyone wanted to see you eat a hot dog on stream. Care to elaborate? I don't think everyone wanted to see that. I was just saying I made the rookie mistake on, it's still on there. Yeah, Elias is like 7'4". But yeah, our very first stream on this channel was the 2019 NBA draft, and we were at a friend of ours' house and doing it from like a room in his house, and he had like a draft party and had several people over there, had a huge spread of food and stuff. But we were streaming pretty much from the time we got there, um, for 5 or 6 hours. So like towards the end of the stream, I took a little break and got some food and came back and happened to eat a hot dog on stream. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can go see that. Yeah, rookie mistake on my part. Oh yeah, we loved the little pick. Just getting someone who was supposed to go in the lottery at 25 or whatever. That's always good value, I think. But yeah, I was starving. um, Sounds like an OnlyFans. Yeah, kind of. Uh, Jermaine O'Neal or Zebo? Are you talking about like what? Who was better or who had won on a team or what? Colonel Pancake says you should all do a video of your rec league games. Would be fun. Yeah, so it's for me. I don't know. It's tough to record the games, but I think Tori's the same way. Um, but yes, I know Tori's planning on doing some videos this summer with we're hoping to do some runs and hopefully someone can record those while we're there. Yeah, I'm sure someone would volunteer to. Did I ever get a chance to see Bill Russell in person, Eric? No, not play. Reese asks, what's my favorite condiment on a burger? If I could only choose one, I'd probably be lame and say ketchup. But I don't know. I like ketchup mayo mix. Yeah. Babe Ruth was dead before I was born. Sorry, Zach. No, I did not see Wilt Chamberlain either. I don't know who George Milon is. If you meant George Mikan, no. I did the Mikan drill all the time, but I don't really like mustard. No, not a mustard fan. I don't mind a little bit as long as it's not like overpowering, but no, I did not see Ty Cobb either. Sorry, guys. What's the earliest I watched basketball? I mean, the first like sporting event I remember watching was the 1985 Super Bowl, where the Bears kicked the crap out of the Patriots. Um, but basketball, I mean, I remember uh, going to games, occasionally when I was little. So, but I don't remember like a specific game. I just remember I was really into it, and there used to be like it was called like Blazer Vision back then. You had this little box, and you could pay for games pay-per-view style. Yeah, I did see Robert Parrish. Yes, not Bob Cousy. Bill Russell's already been asked about. Sorry, Marky, bad question. Eric going to Les Schwab 2023. Problem with going to the Les Schwab is at the place you work at, Reese. It's our busiest week of the year. and it's tough for me to find the time to go to those games while also, locking down things at the store. So do I remember the 2000 playoffs when the Blazers blew it in the fourth quarter, Game 7? No, like that wasn't the worst day of my life. Okay. I was 20. Tori's back. Let me unmute him, I guess.
I saw I came back to a conversation that I can't participate in.
How do I feel about Dolph Shays slander? I've never seen any Dolph Shays slander, but he was a fine player. But no, that was terrible. I mean, I've told this story on air before, but when the Blazers won Game 5, I drove up from college, camped all night on the streets of Portland in a line to get tickets to Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. And then they announced, instead of giving it to the first come or the first people in line, that they were giving tickets based on like a lottery system. And so they split everyone into groups of 100 and got lucky enough to still get tickets. So I went to Game 6. That was freaking awesome. We beat the Lakers, and I had some really annoying Laker fans sitting right next to me, and just watching them walk out the arena with their hands in their face after talking crap the whole game was awesome. And then just to watch them go up like double digits in the second half and thinking that we're playing the Pacers, we're probably going to win a championship, and then to have it all crumble away, man, that was crazy.
Not to interrupt your story, but hello?
Your camera? Why isn't your camera on?
I can't wait. Is that mine? No, it's not mine. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear your mic?
They can hear my mic, I think. I mean, desktop audio, and then just make sure you have the Skype up and make sure you have it on hidden. Nothing should have changed with that setup.
Yeah, just unhid it. Oh, there.
Did you unhide the right one?
No,
Because
there
the white top is back.
I didn't even do anything, and it just came.
Is your Skype full screen, by the way?
Maybe that's the problem.
That could help. I'm frozen now. Sick. Okay, now I'm unfrozen. Cool. Chat, you guys are wild.
How did that not do anything?
I don't know. No, you got two showing. You got one underneath. So hide the one on bottom and then edit the one that's higher in the source list. Why's that frozen screen back? What? What is going on? Okay, yeah, so then just crop the top and enlarge it. I don't know why it changed. I don't know what's going on. What do you guys think about the team sending Corey Jess to the lottery? That'd be I want to send Douglas Fur. Tori, what's your go-to fast food place? I don't really have a go-to. It was Wendy's for a while, but now it's... I don't know. I don't go to Wendy's like that anymore.
All right, whatever. That's as good as I can do.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. This off-season, I'm teaching you just like basic Photoshop and Streamlabs. I am finally going to take you under my wing and... I
don't think I've done bad these last...
No, you've done good. You've done fine. I just haven't, like, you know, I've meant to. I just haven't, like, gone through and actually, like, taught it. And I've taught a bunch of other people, Streamlabs, you know, people I've made graphics for, Gabe, Like, I just need to take the time and so that way, if I'm a dumbass and forget the thumbnail, we don't have to worry. I literally hit up Krish and Mateo. It was like, yo, can you make a thumbnail for Eric? And I was like, crap, this isn't really going to work. And then I found the one with Collins and Sharp. I'm like, oh, that's close enough. Let me just crop the... It was from when we scored 147 points, and it was like, Blazers dropped season high 147 points. I'm like, I can't include that. I was hoping it would say, the Blazers lose or something. You know, I can't remember the Spurs games from this year, so I just cropped that. And I was like, that's the best I can do at halftime of my rec league game.
Yeah. Bouquets was going to try to do a Photoshop thing for me, but ran out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. What
did you buy, Gatorade?
I bought this. All right, chat. I bought this. Do you know what flavor this is, chat? Just based off the color. What flavor is it? Tori was drinking Finding Dory juice. What is that? Tori mystery juice. Nope, it's not. Germ. Close, but nope. Nope.
Zach says, in life or death situation, you need to beat someone one-on-one with one hand tied behind your back to save your life. Are you 1v1 Casey Holdall or Aaron Fentress? To me, that's not even a contest.
If I have one hand tied behind my back?
I'm playing Casey.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I literally just back him down, lay it up.
I think Fentress has probably at least played a sport before.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
I mean, if I answer this question truthfully, it's gonna be me taking shots at both those guys. So, like, I don't want to answer it. You know. Yeah. Whoever said Arctic Blitz, yeah, you're right. Congratulations, you win nothing. Arctic Blast is Adam Smith. He said Arctic Blast. It's Arctic. I'm gonna be that nerd. It's actually Arctic Blitz, but I'll take it. And I got good old orange. And then what were some of the guesses? I saw chat wild and thinking I was going to buy beer. And actually drink beer on stream. We don't have a brewery sponsor yet. If you want to see us drink beer on stream, get us in touch with a brewery that would want to sponsor us.
Hashtag get Eric back to drinking crap again.
Hashtag get Eric Turt.
Yeah, I will promote the crap out of your beer if you want to sponsor us and give us alcohol to drink.
The crap out of it. Yeah, I'll let you do all the alcohol ad reads. Hell yeah.
Or you know, some sort of liquor too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We do have some new ad reads coming soon, by the way, guys. So that'll be cool. That'll be dope. I've been doing a lot of stuff lately not related to like content. I've been doing a lot, so just stay tuned.
Yeah, I don't care if it's crappy. Actually, the crappier the better. I don't care. I'll act like it's the best beer ever because all beer kind of tastes the same to me. So.
I will literally, if we get a brewery sponsor, okay, you can send this clip to the brewery that you're trying to get us hooked up with. I will legitimately, to celebrate the sponsorship, I will pour a whole big-ass can of beer over my head on stream. Okay, you heard it here first. That's a promise. I will saran wrap my chair so that my chair doesn't permanently smell like beer. So if you guys want this, it's you guys do the work for the brewery, you know? If you know anyone who knows anyone who owns a brewery or works at a brewery,
but they want you to do it that
way. How else would they want me to do it?
I don't know.
Pour a can of beer on my... Well, I'll drink it too, you know? Pour a can of beer on my head, then smash the can on the top of my head. Concuss myself. Then people will think I'm drunk the rest of the stream, but I won't actually be drunk. I'll just be concussed. No tobacco sponsorships, YYC. Yeah. Come on, no. Come on, no. Would never.
Nope.
So yeah, if you guys want that...
Did you see the Kay Adams thing today? That reminded me of that.
Oh yeah, popping the champagne and then it, yeah, yeah, that was funny.
It wasn't with Shams though.
I know. Yeah, where's Shams? uh, yeah,
We're
if we
not
would
the
have.
right people for dispensaries either, Parker. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Breweries. Why are you guys trying to switch it to tobacco and dispensaries? It's a brewery. Can we stay focused, chat? Brewery.
I,
Okay. I have to focus to say the word, by the way. You remember that whole debacle. Brewer. Yeah, now I'm going to mess it up because I thought about it too much. But just stay focused on the beer, okay? Don't stray, okay? Beer sponsors.
Adam Smith was talking about the Firestot stream where I was drinking out of my cup and smiling the whole time. And yeah, I would definitely yeah, I wouldn't have a problem doing that.
Marky, you're being a little too wild. Take it down half a notch.
But yeah, it's so that might actually legitimately be the last time I drank.
Really?
I don't drink that much. I've had drinks since then, but yeah, I don't drink that much. So, but I would for sure drink whatever, or like if it's Gatorade or whatever. Like I would do whatever.
Tori, what's the name of that baseball team in Milwaukee? It's the Brewers.
Brewers.
It's the Brewers.
I saw Jackson the other day, by the way.
I know. I saw Jackson and Reese in here at the same time. It made me feel nostalgic.
No, I mean like in person.
I know. Well, you're just, cool. How was that?
It was good. He was busy though.
Of course he was. He's always busy.
Well, he was like literally.
He's only in here when I'm not in here. He said, Tori, reveal the drink. Is he still in here? Jackson, are you here?
Yeah, Jackson's still in here.
Oh, I see him. Okay. Awesome. We got Jackson in a post game when I'm here. Let's go. Yeah, so the other things I'm kind of addicted to this G Fuel right now. And Tetris is dope, so are any of you guys cracked at Tetris?
I love Tetris.
G Fuel, you should sponsor me, but they only sponsor big time people, so whoops.
I like Dr. Mario more. Did you ever play Dr. Mario?
No.
Oh, you're missing out.
Tori, what do you put in that G Fuel? Marky, what are you on tonight, man? These are fire. This is fire. By the way, not an ad. Hashtag not an ad. And then I got smart water. Because I was literally like, my calves were on fire.
No, Trevin, I have not seen Aeromancer, and nor have I seen you.
Yeah, Trevin. I haven't even heard you. So you can't even ask that question until you actually speak on a mic. Legitimately. We've gamed with Trevin before and like hung out in Discord with Trevin just being muted in the Discord with so many different people that if I just said, hey guys, Trevin's actually going to unmute his mic and talk for once, we could probably have like 20 people in a Discord call in 2 minutes. Because it would be such a big deal. Because he's literally never unmuted his mic. And I don't know why. He won't even give us a reason. Like, Trevin, if you don't want to share your voice, just say it. Like, I will respect your ways if you just give me a reason why you are the way you are. But he's not going to say anything.
I tried inviting Trevin to 2 games this year, and he both times just said no.
Just no. Not even a no thanks.
Just no. Yep.
What are we going to do about him?
I don't know. We got 4th and 7, Spencer.
It's probably social anxiety. I mean, if he says that, we would respect it. You know what I mean? I understand that. But also, it's like, dude, he's gamed with us for like 1,000 hours. At that point, he should. I mean, he's on stream and gets talked about in front of hundreds and thousands of people. So, as a mod. So, I don't know. You can at least say hi to me.
The question is, if we had a Blazers Uprise meetup and everyone was going to be there. Every single person that could go, including all the mods. Would Trevin still not even show up?
Nope. I mean, he won't even take free Blazers tickets. Yeah, you know he wouldn't. I don't know why. But he might be famous. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. He's secretly...
Oh no, I know like what Trevin looks like.
Yeah, that sounds a little... Let's just say somebody else in this chat found Trevin on Facebook against his wants and wishes.
And then
So
the next day I kept getting recommendations for his mom to be my friend on Facebook. So I saw all his little baby pictures and stuff.
why are you saying this? Anyway. Trevin, if you just talked to VC, this wouldn't be a thing, bro. This is your own fault, man.
What? He just stopped talking to.
What'd you say? He stopped.
He was
Poor
in chat.
Trevin,
No, he's
man.
not.
Poor Trevin. Trevin, I just want to hear you say like 5 words. Danny Meringue burner idea. Trevin's a fan, though, you know? Trevin's a mod. There ain't no way that's Danny Meringue. Trevin wouldn't be able to hold back the visceral. Trevin's like one of our, like, true OG, like, awesome supporters, you know? That's why I just want to know what his voice, like, I want to hear him say what's up. We're gonna have to track him down.
No, see, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to like force him to meet us. It's just, I just wish he. Eric admits to finding Trevin's phone online.
It's a clip. He clipped you. You got clipped.
What about his phone?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna open it right now and tell you what it is because it won't play through. It's from this stream.
No, I know. I just didn't understand what phone.
Yeah, I don't know where the
Zach
fuck it came
messed it
from.
up. Anyways, I
There's Trevin. Phone, LOL.
yeah. No, I mean, I think it'd be cool to meet Trevin. It's just it sucks that he doesn't want to.
It's just like a chapter in
respect
Blazers Uprise lore. Like, did you guys know we have a mythological book on the way? It's just a chapter in that book, is the Trevin situation.
Is Shaden playing again this season? I think it depends on
Hopefully not.
if the Clippers or Warriors need to win or not. If they both need to win, I think maybe you could play him a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard that they were going to let Anthony play in a game until they won the Minnesota game. And then it was like, oh, crap.
Really?
Yeah. That's why he's on the trip and no one else is right now. It's like they were thinking about letting him play.
Yeah.
Like this game because they knew they were going to
Yeah.
have a tough time losing this game, you know?
That's so funny. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, he's there. Dame's not. Dame's watching LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Grant's not. That's crazy. I mean, I'm still worried we're going to find a way to beat the Clippers or the Warriors. I mean, they're both playing for stuff, though, right?
Yeah, I think they're still the 5th through the 7th, I think, is still up in the air.
So, yeah, I mean, hopefully they're playing for something because we should lose to both these teams. I mean, this Blazer team just apparently is competitive as hell, no matter who they put on the court right now. When earlier in the season, they were uncompetitive as hell no matter who they put on the court. Doesn't make sense. Like, this lineup is much worse than some of the lineups we had earlier this year where we would have, like, struggled in a game like this. I don't get it.
There is a small chance we'd have the 5th seed locked up, but we'd need basically every team to win their next game. 3 teams, the Pacers, Wizards, and Magic, all to win their next game, which is doubtful that all 3 of them. But if they all 3 won their next game, then we could possibly go into the weekend only needing to lose one of the 2, which would be fun. But
Orlando has Brooklyn and Miami.
You agree, though, that since they sat sharp tonight, anything short of losing the last 3 games is an absolute failure, right?
I mean, it's not because they sat sharp. It's in general, it is a failure. What do you mean?
I just meant like say Sharp plays and they like the Minnesota game, right? They won.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they won, but I mean, can you really be that mad because like Sharp takes over at the end and stuff? Like, but the fact that they held him out with a fake injury and stuff, like I can't.
I mean, they were doing it before, so I don't really think that necessarily changes. I don't know. I think it's a failure in general because they're trying so hard to tank, like, even before Sharp.
Yeah.
Like, they got to get these 5th best odds. Or else it's like you failed in your super ambitious goals to tank because it's very obvious, you know?
Dude, that would be awesome, Trevin. If, let's just say, like, that did happen and we could win the Golden State game and then we just decided to play everyone. Yeah, that'd be so funny. Cool to like ruin they had to play in the play-in because of that game or something.
Although I want to see them play the Suns first round.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Knock one of those teams out in the first round. Would be kind of funny.
If they're in the play-in, they probably get the Grizzlies then, which would also be fun.
That would also be fun, yeah. But I want to see KD versus I just want to see KD versus Golden State.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the series of the first round.
Yeah. We get an Anthony and Sharp masterclass on Sunday to beat the Warriors. Well, if we just didn't freaking beat Minnesota, we'd be talking about that right now, right? We'd have a game clear.
Yeah,
because we'd be 2 wins behind or in front of all of them. So,
I mean, imagine if we won this game today. When we beat Minnesota, there was a certain media guy who covers the Blazers that's like, the Blazers are able to have this win and still control their own destiny for the 5th best odds, and basically it was just kind of like read off as snarky to me in terms of like, you guys rooting for the tank just need to chill out because it's still fine and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But it's like, we got the Spurs coming up. If we won this game, our odds would have been drastically diminished. And we could be as far as, like, as low as, like, 9th or 10th.
The justification was that I think Orlando won that night, too, so we didn't lose any ground. But they weren't considering that the season still went beyond that night. That didn't clinch anything. You know?
Like, every win makes it closer to us losing odds.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't do anything for us. I don't care about feel-good vibes. Like, yeah, this is great for the players. They get to feel what a win feels like. So this is a great thing. I mean, I don't care. Bro, they've won their whole lives. Like, you know, they're in the NBA. They are winners of life. Just by being on an NBA floor. Like, this one singular win against the fraudulent Minnesota Timberwolves. It doesn't mean anything. Like, sure, it could be fun if you don't care about odds and you think Wemby's going to be a bust. I don't know. But still, it's like, our pick moving up is going to be better trade value. It's not even if it ends up 1. If it ends up 4, that's better than it being 7th. You know? If we don't fall down, I'd rather be 5th than 8th. Like, it's pretty obvious. It's not just about that extra percentage to move up to the top 1. It's just having a higher pick in general, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So, I it's always funny because there's always a section of this fan base that is all about like the feel good stuff, like the feel good stories, which I get. I'm not saying I have a problem with it. It's just, you know what feels really good? Winning a lot of basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
That feels better than anything. Then all those feel good stories, it's like, yeah, look at how they overcame adversity, and now look at what they're doing. They're winning.
Making a big trade also feels good, or getting the first pick feels good.
Yeah, so it's like whatever can maximize our chances to win next year because we didn't win this year is what I'm for, because that's the best feel good story of them all. Then if you have a breakout player in Sharp next year and he breaks out and then is like a really good player in the playoffs and we go on maybe a playoff run to the second round, or, I don't know, we'd have to have a really great offseason to make the conference finals, but who knows, and Sharp's ascension is a part of that. That's a great feel-good story. If it's in another season where it's like, oh, we're a 10th seeded, we lost in the play-in, like it doesn't mean as much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything, because you guys know I've been the first person to sit here and say, like, it's not all about just winning a championship. Like, you have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the little things. But, man, I am not about to sit here and value a feel-good win over the odds that this team is winning more games next year, because that's what feels good in the end.
Yeah, you can maybe justify it back when there was still, we were still a game or two out of the play-in, so if we just went on a run, we could get back into the race or whatever. But once it became clear that we had a legit chance at 5, the 5th best lottery odds, that is, I think that was ultimately the right decision to just pull the plug.
I mean, it's amazing that we have the 5th best odds right now.
I know.
It still hasn't really sunk in. We felt like we had such high odds last year.
Uh-huh.
And this year it feels like our odds aren't as high, even though they're higher. You know what I mean? Because last year was like our first lottery in so long, it was just insane to be in the lottery. Yep. Yeah. So now it's, I mean, dude, I will have a clip to just post to anyone who calls me Mr. Negative. If we get Wembanyama, I will just have the clip, the happiest clip anybody's ever had on YouTube. It'll be happier than a proposal clip. It'll be happier than a clip of somebody winning the Powerball. Okay? I will freaking lose my mind if we get Wemby. So, and then all the people on Twitter, you're too negative, after every single tweet that's not dripping with positivity. I'll just have that to shove in their faces. But it's always funny because there's always these people, man, that just get on me about how negative I am. And it's like, bro, you're giving me more negativity than anything. Like, if you're not about negativity, why are you giving me so much negativity? Because I'm not being positive enough for you. It just doesn't make sense. And there's a few people that'll just spam me that all the time, and then I finally block them because I'm just tired of dealing with it, and then I'll go back to their page. I went through and unblocked a lot of accounts recently, by the way, on Twitter. So if you're blocked, maybe check.
You pulled a Justice Winslow?
Yeah, pulled a Justice. But it's always funny to go back through accounts, and it's like I'll finally just have enough of them and just block them because I want to deal with them. And there's always that screenshot like, this dude's so sensitive for blocking me after I spammed him for 5 months on every tweet, and ego and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, it's so insane to me, man.
What's up, Michael V? Where you been? But no, is that why you saw a certain tweet today?
What tweet today?
You posted a tweet in GC, and I was surprised you didn't have him blocked.
Who? I don't even remember. I mean, don't go into too much detail, but
the person that called Nurk something that was really weird.
Oh, yeah. I should. Jeez, you guys were going off this game. There's so many. GC was popping. Yeah, dude.
No, it wasn't a Nurk hater. It was like a Nurk, like, he was saying Nurk's basically a criminal, and I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that dude was completely off the rails, dude.
Michael says he's busy, and Blazers suck, so I always tune out for the losses.
But we don't suck, so what's up? What's up with it? No, it's good to see you, Michael. By the way, now I think you can listen to us on YouTube Music. I listed post-game shows as a podcast, which is a new feature on YouTube. I don't know exactly how it works. I'll figure it out. But for those of you who wanted audio only, that could be your way to get it. And I don't even have to do anything to do it.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you go beneath the stream, if you see Blazers Uprise post-game show 2022-2023, is at the top of the description, it's a podcast playlist or something. So I'll figure out how it works. It's always interesting when YouTube adds new stuff. I wish they would add more features, though. It's always fun. I mean, remember the time we didn't even have chat polls?
Yeah. I mean, that's still fairly recent.
Yep.
Speaking of chat polls, tomorrow around 3:30 we'll have Blazers Uprise live. 11 games tomorrow. I went 3-11 on Tuesday to give you guys a chance. Just wanted to make it interesting heading into this last couple days. So tune into that and vote for chat to help maybe overtake first place.
I'm praying on your downfall, Eric. I need my ring. I need to make my comeback. I needed to gain 4 games on you to have a chance, so I was happy about that.
Yeah.
Felt like I should have did better, though. There was a game that was barely... Oh, that Rockets-Pistons game was barely in your favor.
I won my first 2 games and then won the last game. I don't think I won a single game in between. Yeah. That freaking... The Nets had the game and then just completely blew it at the end against the Timberwolves. That was my double down, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, do that again tomorrow.
Okay.
And then Saturday night on the post-game stream we can pick, I guess, if you want to do it like that. How did we do it last year?
Yeah, I think we did something like that.
Yeah.
Don't.
What was that?
No.
Okay. I turned off the stream. It's weird not being able to go to Streamlabs and look at the stream chat. SXKJX says, are you guys streaming in the off-season? Have you ever heard of Blazers Uprise Live? Because we'll be streaming there twice a week still. I try and plug it all the time, and I feel like a lot of people still don't know that that's where our off-season streams are, on the second channel. On the second channel. We have a third of the subs we do over here. So, which 10-day contract which 10-day contract do you guys think is the most likely to get a standard contract? Probably Skylar Mays.
Yeah, Skylar for sure.
I mean, Jonathan Williams is already on a standard contract, but it's non-guaranteed, and it's probably just for trade salary purposes. See you, Parker. Have a good night.
Later, Parker.
Yeah, we're streaming the off-season twice a week, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time, Monday, Thursday on Blazers Uprise Live. So make sure you guys go subscribe before you forget.
We'll also have at least three major streams. One for the draft lottery night, one for the NBA draft, one for the first day of free agency, and then last year we did a big stream for the second day of free agency as well. And then, of course, trades like the Jeremy Grant trade. We'll go live right after those happen. So, yeah, lots of big streams, too, on this channel. And then the twice weekly shows on the other channel.
See you, Marky. Why don't you consolidate channels? So the reason why I started that channel was it was during the pandemic. I wanted a place to just stream random stuff that wasn't on the main channel because there's nothing to cover in the pandemic.
For example, we're going to be doing the mock off season 2, so we can do
we'll
stuff
do that over there
related to that, and it doesn't affect the analytics of the main.
It's like basically where the extra content goes at this point. Like I was uploading the Believe in Blazers podcast. If we come up with a new podcast, maybe it's neither of us. I don't know. I want to try and bring in a couple more people into this next season. So, podcasts and stuff would be over there. It's just kind of extra content, but also it's I don't think it's much of a thing anymore, but at the time there was a lot of talk about how if you did a lot of videos and streams on a channel and mixed them, it wasn't good for the algorithm. Like, it was better to just do one or the other. So during off season, we wanted to be able to just do video content and do the streams over there to help the main channel in terms of the algorithm with video content. So that was part of the reason. And like the thing is not everybody wants to watch it because half of it is just picks against the spread, and not everyone is into that, which is fine. But it's just good to have that on a separate channel. And this off season, I am basically not doing, other than like the big streams, draft lottery, we'll talk about other teams and whatnot. But as far as all the video content goes, it's just going to be Blazer stuff. Like, I'm not doing draft profiles on the main. I'm not doing draft profiles on this channel. If we do draft profiles, it'll be on the NBA Uprise channel. I'm not doing mock drafts on this channel. I'm not doing the top 100 player series I did last year. I'm not doing on this channel. I'll just do player reviews starting September, or player previews starting September 1st, and do them every other day all September. So it's just going to be Blazer content because, like, last offseason, I know I did first round recap, second round recap, etc. Talking about the playoffs over here on the main channel, but it wasn't Blazer stuff. So any of that stuff we're going to do on the NBA channel, and literally everything in terms of video content on this channel is going to be Blazer related. The most we get, like, kind of off track in terms of Blazer stuff is just talking about the CBA, but that ties into Blazer stuff, so it's still Blazer related. Or like a Blazers Uprise pickup run, but that's, the community. So the goal is for every video to be something that Blazer fans want to watch, because I know a lot of people didn't want to watch the NBA stuff, the NBA-oriented videos that I dropped last offseason. So hopefully it will help the channel in terms of the YouTube algorithm pushing stuff out for people to find us. There's a lot that goes into it, but I will have a video on the 11th of April detailing all the off-season content, some of the video ideas. But it will be daily uploads through the end of July, starting on April 10th. So I've already started working on a lot of those, on player reviews and stuff. I have somebody that can help me edit now, so it'll be easier. And we plan on doing some NBA Uprise stuff as well, so just stay tuned. I'll have a video on that in like 5 days. I've already recorded it, so.
Zach and Trevin should do a podcast together on the second channel. That'd be awesome. I'd watch that.
Trevin, I would love for Trevin to do a podcast just so I could hear him talk and replay it. Wouldn't be able to believe it's real.
Hello again, AJ. You're back.
Trevin says Blazers Uprise live. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was saying just in time for us to leave.
Yeah, what's up, AJ? Trevin says Blazers Uprise live is nice now with how it cuts down on trolls. Yeah, it is a little bit different feel, and I like it. It's a little more chill, a little more laid back, so that's also a benefit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, including today, we have stream today. We have one tomorrow around 3:30. We have the post-game show on Saturday around 3:30 Pacific time. And then we have the final post-game show of the year on Easter Sunday. That's going to be around 3 o'clock-ish. And then we have Blazers Uprise Live, our first off-season one at 9:30 p.m. on Monday night. So still have 4 days after this straight of streams.
Yeah. And on that Monday, it will be 9:30 p.m. start time on the second channel. We'll get back to those start times. So no more midday streams. And it'll just be twice a week. I might be willing to stream a Believe in Blazers podcast. Me and Steven will get back on that. We've been meaning to record, just not much to talk about. And I don't know. I want to do more just streaming, but not necessarily just talking about basketball. I just haven't gotten around to it. Like, it'd be fun to stream games, man, or Twitch or whatever. I just don't know if people would watch it. So, you know, I like to hang out at night and just kind of like relax all day. I'm busy doing a ton lately, so Maybe I'll do that this offseason. We'll see, and just occasionally stream. I like to play chess and Rocket League and stuff like that. So that could be fun. That could be fun. So we'll see. We'll see. Do you enjoy? Like, I know you enjoy when the Blazers are playing well, but like, how much are you looking forward to just the off season right now, Eric? Or are you not? Are you kind of sad the season's about to end?
Well, I'm sad the season's over. I always miss basketball when it's not on, but still got the playoffs at least. But for me, then it's just like a long wait until October when there's meaningful games again.
Yeah.
And short of the big memorable days I talked about, like the big off season days. I don't know. I do like some of the laid back streams, but I also miss watching the Blazers play and rooting for them and stuff. So I see it both ways.
I feel that. Yeah. Yep.
But like the last two seasons have just been kind of a grind at the end to get through and hoping they lose and stuff like that. I'm not going to miss that this offseason.
Absolutely.
But I'm also going to be a nervous wreck until May 16th.
Yeah. I'm just excited to do the off-season content.
Yeah.
And you'll have like your off-season preview, and if you want to do a CBA video, all game on that, because there are still a couple gaps in the schedule.
Mhm.
If you want to take on a Trade Talk Tuesday topic, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like I kind of have those planned out in terms of like top 5 off-season trade targets, 5 under the radar trade targets. But of course, you can do a couple of those. But I'm just excited because I'm actually going to be able to get ahead. In like last off-season was the first time I did daily uploads, and I was pretty good about not missing a day. I wasn't completely perfect. I think I missed a day in May, might have missed a day in April, and uploaded 2 videos on the next day. I'm just excited because with shout out to Mateo helping me edit, but then I've gotten enough of a head start on things, and I know how I want to do things after doing them last off season. Like I'll be able to get ahead on content, just schedule a bunch of things, which will be nice. Like I plan on taking like a 2-week break from making videos at the end of April because I'm gonna get that far ahead. That's basically my goal right now. So that'll be cool. I'm kind of just excited for that part of the off season.
Nice.
I already recorded my Cronin GM review. I already recorded that one, and I'll do a Chauncey coach review unless you really want to do that one.
You got that.
Yeah. So those will be fun. I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah.
Lil Scrappy 50 Cent says, "Damn, Torrey's heart is not in it anymore, bro. What are you? Why do you always come in and say the most silliest stuff, dude?" I'm talking about how I'm doing daily. He is a little scrappy. He's a little troll man. Yeah, I'm doing daily uploads. If my heart wasn't in it, I wouldn't be doing daily uploads. You tripping?
Little scrappy $50 cent.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Why wouldn't you, like, if you're just going to put a random $sign in your name, why don't you just do the S in Scrappy as a $sign?
Maybe that was already taken or something.
No, you can set usernames to anything, We've seen the burners, the Tory Jones burners, sure. and all that. See it, AJ. Not in it. That's a weird comment. E-Ray, yeah, people just... Earlier I had a comment saying, "Dang, Tory's pissed," when I absolutely wasn't. It's always funny. People just emotionally project. But it's to me. I don't know why it's... Like, it doesn't happen to you, does it?
I mean...
Through the stream chat?
I get haters sometimes.
Just in terms of, like, emotional projection, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I pretty much tell people what my emotions are.
I mean, see, I feel like I do the same, so that's why it's so confusing to me.
But, like, tonight it didn't make sense because you seemed pretty cheerful when you came on, so I don't know. Like, there was no reason for you to be negative, right? Everything was good.
Yeah, we lost. I had fun playing basketball. Yeah. Stream seemed like a good time, so yeah, I don't know.
I'm too busy wondering why you're pissed off.
Yeah, I'm wondering why I'm pissed off too, I guess. Yeah. That's always funny seeing people emotionally project and just have absolutely no clue. I project onto Eric all the time. He hates me for real. Zach, you're so funny.
I could never hate Zach.
Chat, anything else? I always ask you. I'm going to ask chat, Eric. Chat, anything else? Did you get your fill?
You're trying to take over the stream or something? Jeez.
See, I'm taking your power and I'm giving it to chat. I'm not taking over.
Jackson, why can't you play basketball for real? Something happened.
E-Ray, yes, just stay tuned. I'm working on getting something coded. I've gone in on a coded graphics business with the guy who helped me code. So I've been doing a lot of stuff for like baseball and working on getting some NBA Uprise stuff coded. So a little teaser.
Probably not beat that bozo.
Yeah, if this is where we're at, it's definitely time to wrap it up.
They need to bring back the Mexi Tots thing.
God, I hate this little scrappy dude. I hate this freaking dude, man. All right, you troll. I'm
Tori, do you have anything else for this stream?
I know, Eric. I've just been trying to egg you on to ask me that question so I can be in your shoes. No, Eric. Just
Eric also says, "Why do you exist?"
Because do you want me to go through the birds and the bees? Like, how deep do you want me to go into this? I'm not gonna explain it. Actually, nope. Yeah. Anyway, I need to see this message that was hidden. Okay, well, I wish I didn't see that message that was hidden.
What was it?
You can't see it on your end?
No.
I'm not going to read it, so...
Why can't I see anything?
I don't know, because I guess I stole your power. Whoops. Nah, Eric, nothing else. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. Happy Friday. We'll see you tomorrow anyways with picks against the spread. So I guess I'll say that then. And hopefully you have a good rest of your Thursday night then. And a good Friday morning. That too, because mornings are important. Anyway, that's all I got.
The Don likes my collab with Mike Richmond.
Okay.
Anyways, just a great loss for the Blazers tonight. They ultimately get the job done. They figure out the assignment in the end and take care of business. This has been the Blazers Uprise post-game show, 3+ hour edition. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. And if not, we'll see you hopefully after the games on Saturday and Sunday. Thank you to all for being here this evening, and special thanks to Boom, Connor, Mike, Brady, and Elias, all for your donations tonight as well. Appreciate it, guys. And with that, we're out. Have a good night. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.
Get that.